Doing very well. Just about
Good,
few
good,
minutes.
good,
I'll
good,
join
good.
you in just about 30 seconds.
Yes, okay.
To see you back, and I'm sure you have
Good,
a lot
good,
to
good,
give
good,
us,
good,
especially
good,
the
good,
sunrail that we have been
okay.
missing
To
see you
back
here in UK.
Good
morning, especially the sunrail.
Good morning, good morning,
See you
Yomi.
back
Good morning,
here
Yomi. Listeners, it is Starr Radio UK. Good morning on and whilst Yomi gets it on, listeners, it is on. But Hanga, how have you been, listeners?
I've been very, very well. I've been very good. Sometimes duty call, as the military say. So I was on a duty call to the most beautiful continent on the planet. And it went well.
We thank God for that. We thank God for that. But whilst we prepare for Yomi to bring us the update from Nigeria, now this issue, let me just go straight to Tunisia. The statement that the Tunisian president made at the time, that has brought about, black Africans being virtually persecuted in Tunisia. Now we had Ivory Coast that has repatriated twice its citizens from there. Now we have Nigeria doing so. I don't know whether Ghana has done so, but do you think that it was something called for? Why did he make that statement?
Archie, thank you for that question. In my view, it tells us about the failure of our leaders and our continent as a whole. Archie, irrespective of what, I do not foresee how Europeans will persecute another European in their country. We talk of this EU exit even from Britain. When they get to the border, we do not see them being persecuted. Sometimes they are turned away or something, but we do not see the kind of murdering, killing, persecution that takes place. And I ask the question, what is the sense of belonging to a group called African Union? If we cannot address some of these issues, what is the union there for? Is it there for a tea drinking elites to meet annually, quarterly, or whatever, to broker deals and show each other where they can hide their money, how they can rig elections, or how they can coach each other into making countries ungovernable and making life unbearable for each citizen? If the African Union is there for the people and for Africans, then I think top of the agenda must be how do we preserve the life of Africans wherever they are, and especially on the continent of Africa. So what actions are being taken against the Tunisian authorities by the African Union? The union is silent. We've not heard anything from that. So what is the essence of belonging to that union? Archie, it is a tragedy. It tells you that the so-called African Union is not functioning. And this is about time citizens who need to take action to tell their governments to stop contributing to the African Union if it can't serve the need for Africa. Because at the end of the day, Ivorians have contributed to making African Union what it is. They have their taxpayers' money being paid into that. So if I have my taxpayers' money being paid into an organization that is set up to protect and preserve lives on a continent, and it's not happening, then why do we continue? For Tunisia to also call it, to call itself Morocco, one of it, Algeria, to call themselves part of African Union.
Wow, listeners, we're going to be coming to that because it's something that is troubling lots of people. And there are some people who are citizens living in those parts of the world. However, because of the statement that President Said did make, well, they are all being chased from their places. And what would they do about that? But well, it is Starr Radio UK.
And actually, we saw it also in South Africa. When it happened in South Africa. In my view, the African Union has been very, very inactive in actually trying to do, because the homophobic reaction that we saw in South Africa, Nigerians being chased away, Ghanaians, the Zimbabwean being chased. For me, it calls for continental leadership. You know?
He says continental leadership. What do you say there? It is Starr Radio UK. Now we've got Miss Olayomi Koikii on as well in our North London studios. Yomi, good morning to you and welcome.
Well, a very good morning to you back in the studio. Good morning, my brother. And I hope, those Kenkey and the Pepe is still in those luggage if you were able to get through, especially depending on the airport that you were traveling with. Good morning to all our listeners and the sister broadcasts that have also joined in as well. I was almost wondering why we're not on YouTube, but I can confirm that the sister broadcast has picked the broadcast from there as well, and I'm sure those that are not watching, like I always say, join us on the Twitter on Starr Radio UK. But the best way to listen is make sure you download the apps. A very good morning. Thank God it's Friday. We get paid here, depending on which day of the week your money banks into the account. And I say good morning once again to our other listeners across the globe.
Yes, listeners, Mr. Olayomi Koikii in North London Studios, Mr. Frank Davis with me here, and I'm Archie, and we are bringing you now updates from Nigeria. Now, let's first of all touch on the case of AK Ekweremadu yesterday, because it went viral and everybody was talking about it. I remember back in the night and having some messages from some of our presenters who hail from Nigeria as well, and they said that is a shame. That is a shame. Now, Yomi, what has been the reaction from Nigeria?
The reaction has been mixed, depending on the feelings that you might have for politicians. Let's first say that Nigerian politicians have what it takes to do the best when it comes to the healthcare. I mean, this was a deputy Senate president for three consecutive time, and expectation would have been maybe to have done a little bit, when it comes to, the medical sector in Nigeria. But we might also remember that as much as, there are still some certain things that most African countries still love to take to UK, America, Germany, and Paris. And just as we're still talking about Ike Ekweremadu, information is still pointing that Bola Ahmed Tinubu is still undergoing medical treatment in Paris. The issue of Ike Ekweremadu, is a family matter, but the reason why it has become a public matter is because of the process of bringing someone to UK, for what we now call, organ harvesting, since the Nigerian senator has been found guilty according to the UK rules. What do we know? Ike Ekweremadu was found guilty of plotting to harvest organ yesterday, according to the UK Old Bailey Crown Prosecution Service. The senator, Ike Ekweremadu, and his wife Beatrice, and Dr. Obinna Obata, that I've seen a lot of information filtering out. But the question you ask is the reaction first. The reaction, like I said, when I looked at some of those reactions, which we can gauge from the social media, so many people are saying, well, it is the best for him because PDP was in power for more than 16 years until the APC merged with some other political party and they were able to remove PDP in 2015. And if Ike Ekweremadu would have done something better, maybe the healthcare would have been an area he could have touched on. But since he didn't do as much, he was able to, just as so many of them traveled out of the country and they can easily, pay for their own medical treatment. So many Nigerians are going through the same thing. So let me just give you what are the response so far on a comment section so that we can have a balance to the conversation. Once again, this is Starr Radio UK. It is, your finest African and Caribbean radio station in London. One thing about Nigeria is the ability to pioneer a lot of stuff, good, bad, and relative. No limit to possibility, just wish it was all positive. That is a comment. Somebody's asking, maybe, can this be true? Again, these are the kind of information that doesn't even trickle very well into the country, because most Nigerians don't believe that, you can get justice, as a big man like Ike Ekweremadu. But Ike Ekweremadu is not in Nigeria. He's already here in UK. If not Nigeria, now that guy, they go prison. So again, somebody said that it will be the reverse way. If this was happening in Nigeria, the young man would have been the one going to prison and not Ike Ekweremadu. This other person, Dauntless, says, finally, money cannot buy everything. And this one says, thank God, say na UK. And the last one says, if it means there can still be second verdict, they are in mess. all those that was bashing that poor boy thought UK is like Nigeria, where victim is punished. So you can see that somebody also say miracle no dey tire Jesus Christ.
Well, miracle no dey tire Jesus Christ. Jesus Christ dey do miracle all the time, Abi. Okay. Well, listeners, Mr. Olayomi Koikii in our North London studios, and that's the events about Ike Kirimadu. But justice. Now this shows we know that the system here is also not perfect in a way. It's not all perfect. However, some of the Nigerians are astonished by what has happened and saying that, well, it is in UK that this will happen. But if it were in Nigeria, by this time, this boy would have been the one thrown into jail. But well, I think we see some justice there. But let's go straight to what is happening in Nigeria. People protesting against the EC chair. And I was saying that, look, the horse has already bolted. So, what if you want him out? Well, for the next general election, in the next 4 years, is that why they want him out? Why are they now doing whatever, demonstrating and doing all that stuff? Yomi.
Sorry, I didn't catch that properly.
That was pertaining to a demonstration a protest that is going on in Abuja at the moment, in view of getting the EC chairman out.
The INEC.
The INEC. You know why I'm saying the EC? In Ghana we say EC. So the INEC chairman out. And I was saying that, well, the horse has already bolted. Elections have been have gone, and then the results have been called, and everybody, well, people are going to court and stuff like that. But do you think that it's too late? I mean, what's the point?
Well, I don't see the INEC chairman going anytime soon because the court will have to make that decision, and I don't see him resigning as well. Election is done, but it's not yet concluded because after this election now, there's a lot of court cases that is still hanging out there. It is not the job of INEC chairman to sit and look into the election tribunal. It is a different court jurisdiction that's going to be looking at that. While you are saying that, I'm just looking at a video right now. Anambra State, as the youth has trooped out in their numbers for the burial of one of them that was allegedly shot dead on election day. The youth could be seen in this video displaying their displeasure. They prepare for the funeral of the deceased. Not just that they go, like you said, Atiku came out to protest. Peter Obi hasn't done anything in terms of protest. He's just telling some of his followers and those that voted to calm down as much as possible. But like you said, there's still more protests going on, not just in Abuja, even in Lagos State. Not Lagos, in Ogun State as well. So many displeasure around this election, but INEC has set March 29 for Adamawa rerun election, and that could mean that in as much as we were thinking that the first female governorship is going to be coming up there, but it seems that INEC is going to do a rerun there as well. So, there is still so many Nigerians today that is having displeasure with the INEC chairman, Yakubu Mahmood, for not guarantee what he said, even by coming here to Chatham House saying that, result is going to be transmitted, but eventually that never happened. And, that is still one of the reasons why the protest is still going on in Nigeria. Mahmoud Yakubu, as we all know, is a Nigerian academic and, the current chairman of the Independent National Electoral Commission, which is INEC.
Well, listeners, some stories making the way in Nigeria. But Frank, let me come to you quickly, and then we can go to some of the other stories. Now, how did you see? I know that you were monitoring the Nigerian elections. I mean, though you were in Ghana, but you were still monitoring. Yeah. How do you see it?
Archie, it's a very, very difficult one. It is not about Nigeria. It has to do with how we view democracy in Africa. Some of us have long argued that we do not have anything called democracy in Africa. What we do practice is a craziness of what we call democracy. Actually, why do I say that? Because if we're saying drive, and we are going to drive, okay, I can drive, I'm a driver, and I'm given a car to drive, you have to follow some principles. Yeah. If it's an automatic car, I have to press the accelerator for the car to move after I depress the handbrakes and other things. If it is a manual car, I might have to go to the crotch, put in the first, or depending on the elevation where the car is parked, start to the second. So there are certain principles that must apply before a car move from the rest stage to another. The same way, democracy, for it to be called democracy, certain ingredients must exist. You can't tell me you're cooking pepper soup and there's no pepper in the soup. You can't tell me, I mean, that is it. You can't tell me you are doing momoy when we cannot taste what makes momoy in the soup. At the end of the day, we say we're doing democracy. What underpins democracy? It is about people participating and freely expressing their choices through a ballot box and deciding that this person is the one we want. A time is given for each and everyone interested in being a leader to tell the people what they can do, their vision and other things. That is a campaign period. But once it gets to a point where the people make a decision and make a choice, it is incumbent on the system for it to be qualified to or to be referred to a democracy to uphold and respect the will of the people. Right? We cannot have the will of the people being expressed in one way, and then the people who control the system also deciding that yes, you have participated, but we will not respect that participation. We have actually told you that democracy is what you are practicing. Go get your PVCs. We use the BVAS. We use the IREF to see the results. And at the end of the day, someone empowered by law, who is the chairman of the INEC, to come and pronounce based on evidence collated from the police station. What we saw, Archie, for me, more than a military zone, more than a war zone, I prefer military rule so that we know it's a military rule. I prefer what Gaddafi was practicing. The chieftains was okay, Igbo land, let the Igbo chief rule there, then select representatives into the higher assembly. So that what they call Yoruba land, let the Yoruba chiefs take control, the traditional chiefs, and then we'll select representatives. I prefer that we know. But when we want to practice democracy, then we must respect democracy. But what we saw happening in Nigeria, actually the video, I didn't sleep, the whole of I was monitoring. What we saw, if that can be qualified or can be described democracy, then I beg to differ. We might have to go to our books and redefine what democracy is. I mean, I listened to some of the international observers. One was so, I mean, this actually, Nigeria is a criminal scene. It's a crime scene. When it comes to democracy, it's a crime scene. Seriously, I'm not interested in who wins. Whether it will be wins, Atiku wins, what do you call it, Tinubu wins, and I don't know. But actually, what we saw, the videos that we saw, electoral officials actually tamprinting, children being asked to tamprint. That analysis were done. You can see that with doing tamprinting is less than 5 seconds.
Yomi will put some of the result sheets there. The one that they use pen. I swear they were
Tipex being used to claim, and what do you call it? Results being announced, and someone actually, for me, if this is what democracy is all about, then let's forget it. This is not democracy. And we should never call it democracy.
These are professors that are putting out these, and you wonder if a professor is doing these, then what next do you expect the students?
And I saw a professor stealing a ballot box. We saw a video of a professor. I mean, what kind of education are we getting? A professor stealing a ballot box.
There was a ballot that also took one box, snatching the ballot.
How?
It's a ballot that is known within the community, and it was actually, and they were saying ballot, bring
How?
Bring it. They said, no, it is mine. I take it away. I take it to my house.
Now, you talk about again the other very critical aspect of protecting our democracy, which is the security. You see people taking ballot boxes, and the security are there watching them. Some videos that I saw, security even escorted people.
Wow.
Yes.
Oh, wow.
Security escorted people to go and see ballot boxes.
Oh, wow.
And then you want, actually, for me, if I'm a Nigerian and I'm a youth over there, I ask myself, I saw someone on a video destroying their Nigerian passport.
Yeah. You sent me one, and Olayomi also.
That is the level. This is the level despondency that is gotten to. That people cannot be proud today to say, I am a Nigerian. Are you getting me? And Archie, it hurts me so much when you hear other political parties, the MPP in Ghana, saying they congratulate the APC and they want to learn lessons and do the same thing like APC. And then you ask yourself, what are we? Archie, do you remember? And Olayomi, let me point this to you. Do you recall that we had a young man in this studio prior to 2020 election? Is that 2019 election?
Is it 19?
No, 19
election.
We had a representative of APC in this house.
Yeah.
And what he said, one of the things he said that they have an African movement to dominate African politics by far of means.
Oh.
Part of that network were Rally Odinga, MPP of Ghana, Morocco King is part of it.
Oh.
What do you call it? I have the record. I have the record of that gentleman.
Yeah.
So you realize this is a movement. They don't care about whatever is going on. All they care about is politics, power, wherever it comes from, however it comes, they do not care. Actually, is and you want the worst if you are a minister appointed by, or you are a product of the system, you someone a representative representing Nigeria, and you go to the world stage to negotiate. What is your moral authority? No. I mean, because the people see you over there, see that you are a beneficiary of a criminal system, and you have the moral authority to come and sit in front of that and negotiate something soundly. It turns out that look, any corrupt deal that will push you because you are a product and a birth from a criminal system, and therefore any criminal act we put before you is accepted because your leader is a criminal.
Wow.
You know, I'm sick, honestly.
Well, the foreign observers, not as one of the foreign observers, but some other foreign observers were saying that, well, it was a free and fair election. Now, if you have any issue, go to the courts. So maybe Frank will tell you, go to the courts. But what do you think about that? Let's go to Yomi. It's 11:28 from here. Yes.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yes, I was going to talk about the other issue that's troubling Nigerians, that's pertaining to the Naira. I mean, we did talk about that at length, but it looks like the old note circulation, the CBN has begun monitoring today. Now, what are they monitoring? Now, we were asking the question, you went to print new Naira. Where is that money? Where is it? Now, you are going to use the old... So, it doesn't make sense in any way, shape, or form. But Yomi, over to you.
Well, you're quite right. We've been monitoring this, CBN, and I believe CBN is now trying to work extremely very fast before Wednesday deadline, when the Nigerian Labour Congress has already issued. Remember that has been issued. So the only time now they have to pull it back is when they come back out and say, that protest nationwide shouldn't go ahead on the 29th. But it seems that, maybe if CBN has, between today up to next week to resolve this issue. But the Central Bank of Nigeria has now begins monitoring today. Banks have set 2 weeks target, to clear disbursement of the old Naira note to deposit money banks, as government authorities have stepped up effort to end the biting currency scarcity that has inflated pain on millions of bank customers nationwide. My family was telling me yesterday that, even those that have money in their account, if you can't get the money out there, you have to do some lot of working, and these are elderly people. And remember that we told you that a radio presenter died in Ibadan, southwest of Nigeria. Not that he doesn't have the money, but the money is in his bank and he can't get access to the money because there's no money at the ATM. And those POS are also not giving money. And the ones that are giving money, for every 1,000 Naira, they will remove 200 Naira. So you multiply that, if you're taking 2,000 Naira, that is 400 Naira. If you're taking 3,000 Naira, that is 600 Naira. And that is a lot of money, especially in a country where the 1,000 Naira itself is a lot to an average Nigerian. So the Central Bank has directed DMBs to pick up the old 1,000 200 and the 500 naira, which is your what you're looking at behind the screen, at its offices across the country for onward disbursement to customers. Why has this taken so long? I mean, you kept asking, where's the new one? And I have actually, forgetting that we have a new Naira redesign, because if you were meant to bring out and change over the old currency, then we should have about in circulation millions of the new Naira note. But I've seen the new Naira note, in some parties, even though EFCC has been going after those that are abusing the Naira in the party. But again, who owns the Naira in terms of the new ones? Where is it? But now that the CBN is saying that the old one will be out in full force, we'll have to monitor that for the next couple of days. So over the weekend, I will monitor that again. By the time I come back on Monday, we will reflect whether there's enough time, because from Monday, it will be 72 hours before a nationwide protest will go ahead by the Nigerian Labour Congress.
Now, a quick one, Frank.
Yeah.
Now, you see, we've been talking about this for a long time.
Yeah.
We're talking about, now, if a government decides or the central bank decides that they want to change the currencies, either they think that whatever they had at first is there's so many counterfeits. I mean, it doesn't stand. That is it, and therefore they need to change it.
Yeah.
Or we were not sure exactly why the government decided to do so.
Okay.
That it was just getting to the election time. There've been scarcity such that now they are bringing the old Naira notes back to them. The question is, if you say you printed a new Naira, where is the new Naira notes that you printed?
Okay.
Is it being kept in somebody's house?
Actually, I do believe every responsible and every credible central bank will have rules and regulations. At what point do we print money? We do believe money printing is a function that the banks carry on every day, because when you have less weak Naira, when it goes to the central bank, that weak Naira sometimes get destroyed, and then it's replaced. That is not to you might be printing new currency, but you're not increasing money supply. Now, if you're telling us that you're going to print money, are you printing it because of fake currency or what, or you just want to increase money supply? If people have commissioned money and actually spent money on printing it, do not forget, most of the money is not printed in Nigeria unless they have started doing it. And if people have commissioned money to that or committed money to that, and they are not telling us that it was a flawed decision, I think they should be resigning in the first place anyway, because the first thing, they've spent public money, they've actually, incurred a loss. They've actually, given what I call financial loss to the state, for which they have no purpose of being there. You see, the other thing that you see is that politicians will jump to print money because they want to do politics with it. It's happening in Ghana as we speak. Money is being printed on a daily basis. You ask them, the last report from Parliament, over 10 billion has been printed. If you look at this good for oil, they're saying it's a money printing scheme. Why? Because the central bank prints money without account and use that local money to buy the goods. So they use the money to buy the goods. And then that goods go back into the system as oil. Then it comes back. It's a money printing scheme. You need to understand it. It is nothing for good for oil scheme. Because if it's a good for oil scheme, why don't you use the gold, sell the gold on the gold? And because the gold is $1, you sell it, you get $1. If you're using it to exchange fuel, it's still the same $1 at the exchange. So if it is gold for oil that you want to do, then sell the gold. But no, that's not what they're doing. Because they can't get a hard currency within a banking system, and they do not want to go to regulations, they are printing the money. So when Baumia tells you he's working in Bank of Ghana, he knows there's money there. That's exactly. They are printing that money, buying gold with it, then using that gold as a way of getting oil. So that is scheme they are operating over there. Actually, it's criminal. And this is why even our banks now, no foreign bank wants to accept any guarantee they give them. Ghana, we're talking of inflation rate hovering around 54%. You ask yourself,
what?
Yes, that's the current inflation rate, about 54%. We are in hyperinflation.
Jeez.
Okay.
And Nigeria, what is your inflation rate?
No, yes, it's better. Actually, with all indications, Nigeria financially.
Yeah, it's better than.
They're far better than Ghana.
Wow.
Their inflation rates are well lower. Their debt to GDP ratio is well lower. But Archie, why should Central Bank of Nigeria be printing money getting to elections? Did they need the money to fund election, give to boys that committed a lot of crimes? The youth that were hired, giving drugs and giving arms to commit, and some of them are now being arrested before the court time so that they do not become witnesses. Actually, a lot is going on. And I do believe Nigerians should be calling on the central bank to be investigated, and the chief of the central bank must be investigated. We recall in 2007, again, when Ghana say they were printing new money, what did we saw? We saw videos of tons of money going to people like Osafoma and going to their and then they brought it back to change for new currency, and then they became rich overnight. So some of these are criminal acts that are engineered by the system and within the system.
Wow. Maybe Yomi, we need to do something though. The naira that you have, let's go and change it. Maybe we can make some money from that. Well, listeners, let's go back to Yomi for the rest of the stories making the rounds. Over to you, Yomi.
Well, there's just so much coming out of Nigeria. Sonki says now we want to investigate the central bank. There's quite a lot. Omogbola Orba says justice has been served where system is working. Tinubu, like I said, is still out of the country, the president-elect. But there's also a story that is currently in circulation, that the Chief Justice of Nigeria secretly left Nigeria. Anyone can be on the wheelchair, but the question is, why is the trip ahead, to London? But since that information has now filtered out into the public domain, that there's going to be a meeting between the president-elect and the Chief Justice of Nigeria somewhere in London. The Chief Justice now is trying to find the next available flight to bring him back as quickly as possible. This, again, is the question that a lot of Nigerians are asking, that, the relationship. Let me take you through one quickly, that I did a bit of, broadcast on late last night, is the Shagaru, Gilbert Shagaru. They are one of those, Lebanese, but born in Nigeria. And it seems that, the Shagaru group are so powerful that they were able to also influence, people like, the Bill Clinton, foundation. And today, according to what we saw in terms of 2016, they were actually, found, holding some of Abacha's money. And they actually said, well, we didn't know, $1 million Swiss was paid back. And they actually returned $65 million back to the Nigerian government. The same family have also now, from intelligent information coming out, bringing Tinubu for this medical treat in Paris. And, the question just goes on when we keep saying the cabals, these are not spirit, these are individuals. And like I said, the Shagaru group has been found in so much of different, Pandora, they can't get to America anymore because of also financing of terrorism. And if these are the same set of people that is mingling around with the incoming president, I'll leave that to the minds of our Nigerians to decide. Let's go straight to some of the other headlines. And then, at 11:39 on Starr Radio UK, angry voters brutalize Lagos cop over BVS machine failure. The question always is, it is the little one at the bottom end that get, penalized, while the criminals are the ones that get lose out as well. There is a tight security, as I speak to you right now, as appeal court decide Adeleke and Oyetola, suits today. Remember that Adeleke won the election with the PDP in Osun State, but there's been overturned by, Oyetola, the APC, and the appeal court will be giving a verdict today. Osun State chapter of the People's Democratic Party and the All Progressive Congress have expressed hope for the victory as the Court of Appeal in Abuja today delivered judgment to determine the real winner of the July 16 governorship election in Osun State. Some might be saying that, how come this election doesn't all go in accordance together? Is because of some of these cases like these. Eventually, somebody is not satisfied and they take the court to court. And then eventually, even if you have started as a governor like he has started, should the court decide that Oyeleke has won the election Adeleke would then become no more governor, and that will be the end of it. And that's why we do not have the same cycle of election, across Nigeria. Let's touch on some of the other headlines as well. Buhari's regime continued payment of fuel subsidy, damaging Nigerians' well-being, according to the NNPCL. The benefit derived over the years been eroded due to the amount paid on subsidy. A regime has been fueling the vicious cycle of poverty in the country. A subsidy in the petroleum industry has been going on for a very long time. I know that the government says that they will do everything to stop it. I'm not sure whether they still have the time, since, the president will be ending his tenure in the next couple of months. But what we can say is that, the Nigerian National Petroleum Company Limited yesterday said Nigerians had missed enormous infrastructure development due to the protracted fuel subsidy regime in the country. The NNPCL disclosed that the amount spent on fuel subsidy payment could provide 7,500 kilometers of road network at about 400 million naira per kilometer, and a 37 well-equipped 120-bed tertiary health center, and a 32 billion per hospital annually. Lawal Musa, the NNPC senior business advisor to the GCO, disclosed this in Abuja at the Joint National Association of Nigerian Students, NAS.
Olayomi, hold on.
Yeah.
Hold on. Archie. Some of these things, I think we as a people, as Africans, we need to look at it very well. The man has listed the type of infrastructure, the amount of subsidies could have provided.
Mm-hmm.
The question we ask, those infrastructure, who interest is it going to serve?
Mm-hmm.
It's going to serve our interest.
Yeah, of course.
The subsidy, whose interest is it saving? Is that not
our interest as well?
Okay, again, why are they not talking about the benefit culture and the loot and share that is within the NPC? Why is it that when it comes to subsidies, something little to benefit mostly the poor,
that one
we want to take it away? I am not in favor of subsidizing like Tinubu campaign, all the 5.7 what they call the Land Cruiser that were being driven. I'm not interested in subsidizing them, and their system that we can do that so that only the poor benefit from some of these subsidies. Yes, that argument can be made, but do not condemn the whole industry of subsidy, the whole initiative of subsidy. Now, the little that they've had, MPC, can they tell us what they've used those monies for?
Yeah.
Let's assume half of the money has gone on subsidy. The other half, can you come and account to the people of Nigeria that at least I've been able to build a KVIP. I've been able to build a 1 meter of road. But for the subsidy, probably I would have extended it to 3 kilometers. Come and prove to us the little that we've given you, to whom much is given,
much is expected,
and to whom little is given, little is expected. So show us the little that we've given you, what you have used the money for. They should not just come and be confusing out and trying to hide their incompetence and their embezzlement behind these small subsidies. I disagree. I really disagree.
Yeah, but Yomi, what are the citizens, Nigerians as a whole? I mean, the majority who don't have the means to actually do it, and therefore the subsidy is something that helps them in one way or the other in their travels. What have they been saying?
Frank, I've just said it. I mean, I'm just looking at the breakdown here. 7,500 kilometers that will have connected the communities, and that will have made those communities to flourish better. Whether a farmer that is bringing their produce out of the farm because they can't get those produce out because of the bad road network. Whether it's somebody that needs to attend the health center as a pregnant woman rather than infested bed that is there. Subsidy is just one crime that has been going on for a very long time, and it's only those that have been part of those systems that understand and enjoys it better. And in every person in Nigeria, like the Shagori that we just talked about, they started their business in 1971, but boom, they were able to connect to Abacha, and the rest today is history. So you can see that, when somebody say, I started small, but the small becomes, connected to the, to the right network in the country, like Africa, like Nigeria, and then you become very powerful and the money flourish quickly. And then you can invest into so many, and then you can then start saying, I will do also what they called philanthropies by donating back to the society. Maybe if we have done it right, nobody would have been doing philanthropies. Nigerians would have been able to get a good quality education. Remember that last year, Nigerian students actually stayed 8 months at home just because lecturers were not paid. Subsidy would have been better in that sector. But sometimes, with another headline that I've got here, there is a JAM rector that has also fed into, the ICPC arrange ex-JAM register Ojerinde and his 4 children for money laundering. So money laundering and, fiddling into every sector of Nigeria is just one crime. Imagine this is a JAM register that has been able to use that sector, to enrich himself and his 4 children that have now been charged, according to the ICPC, for money laundering. So his 4 children, Mary Funlola, Olumide Abiodun, Adebayo, and Oluwaseun Adeniyi, have all now been charged. So these are issues that is having big impact. And when you look at all these, the question is, how much more have been drained out of Nigeria, and how can this be stopped, especially when there's still, allegations surrounding those that are still controlling Nigeria. As we are still talking right now, Tinubu is not in Nigeria, he's somewhere in Paris, but there's still a lot of information surrounding, even his election result as well. But again, Starr Radio UK, the finest African and Caribbean radio station in London. We're going to go straight to the social media, and then I'm going to come back again to you in the studio. Quite a lot is trending. Tinubu is in France, is trending at about 6,000 this morning. Man of God is trending. I'm not sure why that is coming up as well. Man of God is trending. Nasarawa is trending. And likewise, the biggest trend this morning is the CGN that has been found traveling ahead with allegation that, he might be having a meeting, with Tinubu in London, even though Tinubu is still currently in Paris. Oyetola is trending. We talked about that because that has got to do with the, the verdict that is coming out later on today. Appeal court is also trending. These are some of those that are trending this morning. And let's just go straight to appeal court before we come back to you in the studio. Once again, it is Starr Radio UK. Peter Obi is still pushing, but the major reason why appeal court is trending is got to do with the fate that we might know on Monday when I come back regarding these 2 individuals, 2 different opposition. One is currently there. One lost out in 4 years ago, but is he going to lose out this time around? The court will make that verdict. INEC chairman must go. Protest continue as the appeal court also is still there. Remember that we talked about Dati Baba Ahmed yesterday. After receiving SUV Prado Jeep from Ukwaba, Abia State INEC return officer Professor Nene again received 100 million. When you hear all this figure, the question you just keep asking yourself is, this money could have been used properly, to fix so many issues from Nigeria. Update from Nigeria, that's how far we can go this morning. I'll return back again to those of you, both of you back in the studio, Mr. Archie and Frank.
Well, listeners, it's been a wonderful one. But it's Starr Radio UK, Mr. Olayomi in our North London studios. Mr. Frank Davis with me here in the South studios, and we're bringing you updates from Nigeria, part of the morning show. But Yomi, a statement has come out from the Tinubu camp debunking the statement that he is having a meeting with the Chief Justice. The All Progressive Congress Presidential Campaign Council said the president-elect Asiwaju Bola Tinubu is currently in France as against speculation that the president-elect was in London for a meeting with Olukayode Oriwola, Chief Justice of Nigeria. The campaign council said there was no meeting between Bola Tinubu, president-elect, and Olukayode Oriwola, Chief Justice of Nigeria. So that is a statement debunking the fact that the president-elect is having a meeting with the CJ, which people would think that means that he's going to somehow coerce him to rule in favor of him when it comes to the.
Do they need to have a physical meeting when they are virtual meetings?
I can just call you and say, Frank,
do they need to have? I mean, they say we know it's a system, and we know Tinubu is part of the system. The Chief Justice is part of the system. I mean, at the end of the day, these are people who have actually agreed to basically punish their youth, and that's what they're doing.
Well, listeners, we'll end the update from Nigeria. But Yomi, before you go.
Well, I'll leave you in the good hands of Archie and Frank. I'll be back on Monday morning. May Nigeria not happen to us as we go over the weekend. And, those of us here in the UK, enjoy the rest of the weekend. Bye for now.
Bye-bye. Well, listeners, that has been Mr. Olayomi Koikii for you. Frank this is the first time Frank is hearing us. This is a saying on this platform, may Nigeria never happen to you.
I disagree.
When Nigeria happened to you, you have
the most beautiful country.
We might have to rephrase it and look at may the current leadership probably there's version 1 or version. We might have to count the version 1 or version 2 of Nigeria.
Okay, listeners, start ready again. Let's have a quick break. We come back and we'll look at it.
Well, and that is how we start the first section of the program this morning. It's just about 15 minutes before 12 noon as we exit out of our sister broadcast, Starr Radio UK, and as I get ready for a bit of update and discussion lórí koikimedia, mo kí gbogbo ìtẹ́tí darapọ̀ mọ́ wa láti ìgbà tí ètò yẹn ti ń lọ almost an hour into that already, ọjọ́ kìí pẹ́ rárá. And it's good to see Frank back with us after being away for, a very lengthy time as well. Definitely, Tinubu ma deny pé òun ní meeting tó ń fẹ́ ṣe pẹ̀lú Ariwola or whatever their name is. Mo kí Mr. Akeem Ayodele Ogunajo Aziz mo kí yín. And those of you ẹ̀yin sójà Tinubu tí ẹ pé bí little thing ìjọba ti gbọ́rọ̀ Tinubu ara yín máa ń gbọ̀n. Sonke Kẹ́hìndé Oseni Salami Adéníyì Ọláyẹmí mo kí yín. Mo kí àwa mùsùlùmí tá wà nínú àwẹ̀ àgbàjá o mo pé gbogbo yín ni ẹ̀ ń gbàwẹ̀ ẹ̀yin mùsùlùmí ẹ má jọ̀sán. And also Barika the Juma for the first Friday of the Ramadan. Prince Abimbola Moki. Prince is not a pet name, is a royal lineage. Sonke once again, Moki. Yawa Esther Moki Dada. Kingsley, democracy in Nigeria is a do or die, definitely. My uncle Tony Aegis, Dizzy Man 123. Bello, good afternoon. Ọmọbọlájí báwo ni UAE ṣàtìkù ti dé sọ́dọ̀ yín padà àbúṣíwà en route wá sí ọ̀dọ̀ yín. These people can travel anytime. They have their private jet. May is good. Thank you so much, and those that have joined us on all the platforms as well. So, where do we kickstart our conversation? Kẹtàwá ti jáde lórí Starr Radio. We just go around. Mo kẹ́yìn tàwa lórí Instagram. Shout out to all our families on the Instagram and those on the MixLR. Some of you do not know what the MixLR is all about. It's just like listening to something through audio version. You don't need any. They can't see my face, but they can interact by also chatting there. Shitu, ọmọ mi mo fi tọ̀wọ̀tọ̀wọ̀ mo fi kí ẹ̀gbọ́n mi. Mo kẹ́yìn tí mo jù lọ, mo kẹ́yìn tí ó jù èmi náà lọ. Yoruba Nation ni platform you are from, but I always remind people that this platform is also Rahim Abbas Muki. That always remember that this is a media platform. In as much as I've left my own platform to báwo lẹ ṣe mọ̀ pé mo gbà wẹ̀ ṣe oúnjẹ lẹ́nu mi ni Mr. Yuba Debi àbí ẹwà pẹ̀lú mi nínú ilé mi ni tẹ́ ń sọ pé Koikii you should be fasting ṣé ẹ̀ ń ríran ni àbí báwo so ẹni bá ti jọ̀sán náà ara ẹ̀ náà ni
Mr. Mori Yeyegele nǹkan ìyá dáadáa tí ń bá dárúkọ wọn àwọn àti ìwà pẹ̀lú ẹ̀wà. Ìyá mi Yétúndé Tálàbí mo kí yín dáadáa. Ọmọgbọ́láwọn ẹ̀gbọ́n mi ní the whole idea of the Naira redesign is to boycott and reduce the vote buying during the election as well as to cut the politicians' wings as majority of the politicians have kept more than enough money to spend during the election. Mo kí ìyá wa Yèyé Ọládàpọ̀ Tóyìn ìyá mi dáadáa mo fi tọ̀wọ̀tọ̀wọ̀ dárúkọ yín ẹ káàbọ̀. And our grandmother, a mother, Mrs. Omolara Iyabo Ajala. Okay. So it is Friday. Yesterday, I'm back program kan lọ lóru àná. Ẹni tó bá wo program tàná, mo bẹ̀ yín ẹ lọ farabalẹ̀ kẹ́ wò. It's only 3 hours. Program wọn kì í ju 3 hours lọ. Mo kí bàbá wa Dennis kò ń ju 3 hours lọ. Mo kí dáadáa ìyá wa Ọláyẹmí Adébọ̀wálé. Mo kí gbogbo ẹ̀yin tẹ́ wà ní Lagos State ní gbogbo state kankan. Ẹ jẹ́ n change nbọ̀. Ìlà tí mo wọ̀ mo fẹ́ change ẹ̀ sí another one. Katrina baby o Katrina. Mo rí fídíò kan nísìnyí tí Katrina tó ń jó rẹpẹtẹ tó ń jó gidi wàláì ijó gidi mà ló ń jó kẹ̀. Katrina baby o Katrina baby o Katrina baby. I love this. Ta ló like image? Ìjọ wo làwọn náà máa dé stage báyìí? Our Yoruba nation country. Ta máa ṣe kí ni? Táwọn náà máa ní kí ni tọ̀dọ̀ tiwa kí ló ń pè táwọn máa ní drone tiwa náà tó lè ṣiṣẹ́ across the globe. Kí lẹ feel táwọn kan máa bá wa táwọn máa jẹ́ pilot tí wọ́n máa wá drone yẹn ọ̀tá àwọn èèyàn fẹ́ wà ní Nàìjíríà tó ṣiṣẹ́. Thank you so much Dizzy123. I don't know what people love in Nigeria. I mean, there's nothing to love in Nigeria. Nigeria is just a shithole country that we should just let go. But people don't want to let go because if they want to let go, everybody will be putting their energy and say that we should not be part of Nigeria anymore. I borrow a ADC, but everybody just everybody still believe. There's so many people that believe in Nigeria. That's our problem. We have so many people that still believe in Nigeria. And when people believe in something, it's very difficult to change their mind. Because they believe in something, people believe that Nigeria is still a great country, it's going to work. I don't know, how those believe for them. KUs, Moki Baba Victoria, mommy knew Baba Ke, Moki Grandma Victoria Yemisi Apata Mufutoko. Moki Ubayi church tí Ọlọ́run gbàdúrà yín lórí ìrìnàjò Yorùbá nation. Yesterday, a ṣe program lórí àwọn family kan tó ń pè ní Gilbert Shagori. Èèyàn mélòó ló ti gbọ́ orúkọ wọn rí? Gilbert Shagori. Àwọn ni mo sọ̀rọ̀ lé lánàá. Ta ló mọ Èkó hotel? Àti ìtẹ́ ìbátẹ́ ẹ̀dẹ́kọ̀ rí ẹ ti máa gbọ́ Èkó hotel. Ta ló mọ Èkó hotel dáadáa? Lára àwọn nǹkan nínú ẹ̀. Ta ló mọ ibì kan tó ń pè ní Èkó Atlantic tó ń build lọ́wọ́lọ́wọ́ wọ́n sì ń ṣe lọ́wọ́lọ́wọ́. Okay, Sankini, I know Èkó hotel very well. I go there often. Èmi náà ti débẹ̀ bí ẹ̀mélòó kan. Bẹ́ẹ̀ ni a máa débẹ̀ lágbára Ọlọ́run inshallah. Ìyàwó Ayétúndé. Ta ló wá mọ àwọn tó ń pè ní Shagori family? Àwọn la sọ̀rọ̀ rí lánàá. And let me just touch again on them this morning or this afternoon. It's about 6 minutes before, 12 noon. Aago kan wà fast. Eléyìí tó wà lórí system mi ó wà 6 minutes faster than the one tó wà ní bíbá. Muki Baba Babatunde Kaze, the Shagori family, Olatunje Ahmed Muki, the Shagori family, they're very powerful. What they now only want facilitate Bola Tinubu, Paris trip and whatever is happening there. Ìwọ máa pariwo pé o fẹ́ Yorùbá nation. Kò yẹ. Àwọn tó ń jẹ mùlá Nàìjíríà wọ́n ń jẹ dáadáa. Wá tí ìwọ tó ń ṣe kíni tó ń sọ̀rọ̀ sí àwa. Let me just give you that is Ben Ayade pẹ̀lú àwọn Shagori àti ẹ má bínú pé nọ́mbà yẹn blọ́ọ̀kì ojú Aliko Dangote. These are very powerful individuals in Nigeria. Very, very powerful. They control a lot of things. And so much of in táwọn Shagori don't control. They've been indicted with so many things across the world, whether in the Pandora, whether in whatever it is, but Emma, Nigerians love their oppressors. What wà lára àwọn tó ń develop Èkó Atlantic, Ike Kirimadu, kí la máa ṣe sọ̀rọ̀ Ike Kirimadu báyìí, ẹ ká touch lórí ẹ̀ díẹ̀. This is the BBC. Hey, this is Ike Kirimadu. I believe this is the picture tí court release lele BBC kúrò. A senior wealthy Nigerian politician, his wife, and a medical middleman have been found guilty of an organ trafficking plot after they brought a 21-year-old man to UK from Lagos. Senator Ike Ikerimadu, 60 years old, his wife Beatrice, 56, and Dr. Obita, 50 years old, were all convicted of conspiring to exploit the man for his kidney in the first such case under modern slavery laws. The Old Bailey had the organ was for the couple's daughter, Sonia Olayomi, age 25. She was clear of the same charge. The victim, a street trader from Lagos, was brought to UK last year to provide a kidney in an £80,000. Wow. Private transplant at the Royal Free Hospital in London. Again, called Free Hospital in one. It's a very, very Royal Free and Lele. Sherry Bubo a hospital intensive care. Video. This is Royal Free, okay? World-class expertise, local care. These are what we expect to happen if truly Nigeria was there to support. Let's hear, I don't know on the copyright. Intensive care unit, ICU.
Welcome to the Royal Free and Barnet Intensive Care Unit, or ICU. This video is intended to give the family and friends of our patients a little more insight into what happens here and how we care for your loved ones.
How we care for your loved ones. Aeroplane, drone, on phone, care is very, very. Some Kirimadu don't enter one chance. Terry, àwọn olóṣèlú wa. Ibi tó fi gbọ́mọ ẹ wá because private ló fi wá ṣe, so it would have cost them £80,000. You know, £80,000 to somebody like Ike Ikerimadu's chicken chain. Okay, Mr. Fatai Kazeem. Yoruba nation ni no going back. Lára àwọn nǹkan táwa rò pé ó yẹ kó ti máa wáyé nílẹ̀ Yorùbá if we were still under the regional government of Baba Olowo. or if Nigeria was truly functioning. Ẹ̀wọ̀n tí mo kọ lẹ́yìn tí mo kà jáde lẹ́ẹ̀kan lórí Gazette, People's Gazette, nígbà tí mò ń sọ news fún Starr Radio lẹ́ẹ̀kan. Ẹ mọ̀ pé mò ń sọ pé wọ́n sọ̀rọ̀ nípa fuel subsidy. This fuel subsidy has been going on only God knows how long. Àwọn tó dẹ̀ ń jẹ nínú fuel subsidy wọ̀ ọ̀pọ̀ rárá. Ẹ̀wọ̀n tí wọ́n náà lè provide fún yín tó bá yẹ pé owó fuel subsidy yẹn wọ́n ń lò. It could have done 7,500 kilometers of a road network, 400 million per kilometer. It could have given you a 37 well-equipped 120-bed tertiary health centers at about 32 billion naira per hospital annually. But they are not going to do such. Rather, somebody is eating Mr. Larry Lamina, Yawa Rukaya Tomomi, Muki. But ìyàn kan ló máa jẹ owó yẹn, ẹ jẹ́ ká padà sí intensive care. This is how people are looked after. Àwọn kan lè máa ní UK ti wà ní democracy for a very long time, but ṣé kò yẹ kí Nàìjíríà náà ti dàgbàsókè? But when we are living with people that do not value who we are, they don't respect you, they don't love you, they don't care about you. I mean, if care is there, ṣé yẹ kí Tinubu lọ máa gba treatment ní Paris? Àbọ̀rọ̀ mi yé nísìn. But these are the same people that àwọn oppressor yín, you love them so much. Lójú wọ tí òun struggle kò mean anything. Tinubu lè tọ́jú ara ẹ̀, but wọ́n ní láti tọ́jú wọ. Ṣebí Tinubu ni ó build the Lagos State. Kí ló dé tí kò build the Lagos State to the standard? Kó ní ó ṣàní owó lọ́wọ́, ó ní access to resources. Why did Tinubu not make sure that Mercy Hospital, ẹ máa dárúkọ àwọn hospital tó wà ní Lagos State fún mi? Island Maternity, èwo ló tún wà níbẹ̀? Ìkan wà ní side ibi Ìkẹjà yẹn, ìtẹ́mi náà lọ yẹn. Àṣọ private to public ni mo sọ nísìn. Kí ló dé tí wọ́n upgrade àwọn hospital yẹn? Kọ́ pump owó sínú ẹ̀. Kọ́ train àwọn èèyàn. Kí ló dé tí tó bá yẹ pé ní 1999 tí Tinubu débẹ̀, ó send èyí tẹ́ máa sọ pé ó máa ń ṣàánú ni mo bá sọ̀rọ̀ nísìnyí because every time ó ń ṣàánú àwọn èèyàn, ó ń ṣàánú àwọn èèyàn. Kí ló dé tí kò rán 5,000 people lọ sí Paris àbí France kọ́ lọ train wọn so that irú bó ṣe sick nísìn tó ń tọ́jú ẹ̀ ní Paris inú Lagos State ni wọ́n ti máa fún nítọ́jú. But ẹ mọ̀ pé láìkí irọ́, and we can only say ojú yín ó kù díẹ̀ ni. So I'm going to allow us to watch this video. It's about 6 minutes. And then I'm going to come back and we have more conversation. Orúkọ mi ni Olayomi Koikii tí gbogbo ìmọ̀ sí àwọn kan ní koikimedia, but koikimedia gangan ló ń jẹ́. Mo dúpẹ́ lọ́wọ́ gbogbo ẹ̀yin tí ẹ gbà pé òmìnira Yorùbá a máa bọ́. Yorùbá nation tí the country o, ẹ gbọ́ mi dáadáa. General Hospital Ìkẹjà, yes, ìyẹn ni mo lọ nígbà Randu Health Center. Ó dà pé Lut náà Èkó ló wà bí, yes. Mo kí ìyá mi dáadáa, ìyá wa Comfort Ológunjà. Mo mọ̀ pé sister yín ẹ bá ń kí wọn dáadáa. Ó ti yé yín, kì í má go into too much details. Inú public domain ni mo wà. Mo rí wọn bá sọ̀rọ̀. A ti yé yín bẹ́ẹ̀ yẹn. Ẹ bá ń dúpẹ́ fún wọn gan. Ẹ bá ń dúpẹ́ fún sister yín. Thank her on my behalf. Ọlọ́run bá ń dúró ti family yín. Ọlọ́run bá ń dúró ti family yín. Also for ẹ̀yin tí ẹ máa ń lọ lé, a lè ní kí àwọn kan máa lọ Nàìjíríà. There was almost a panic yesterday. Ẹ rí pé mo ṣe program lánàá yẹn, wọ́n pè mí lánàá. But I can confirm that the situation is under control. But nǹkan kan mo kàn fẹ́ mú jáde, ẹ jẹ́ ń ṣe full screen mi nìkan tí bá fẹ́ sọ àwọn ọ̀rọ̀ báyìí. Ẹ jẹ́ ń yọ background kúrò nù. Because ojú ni wọ́n ní ọ̀rọ̀ wà láyé mọ́ Yorùbá máa ń sọ. Once again, mo bẹ̀ wá tí àbá ní any reason bá fi lọ Nigeria, you have the right to go to Nigeria, nobody can stop you. Ẹ̀yin ò ń ṣe Koiki tán wá ní Nigeria, so ẹ̀yin dẹ́ bá lọ Nigeria kò sẹ́ni kankan gbogbo kọ́mẹ́ǹtì kò sẹ́ni kankan tó mọ̀ yín ní orí social media. Àwa tá gbé program dání báyìí ni wọ́n lè target tí wọ́n dẹ̀ fi pa àbí kọ́ kidnap kọ́ gbé wa lọ sí prison. So bẹ́ẹ̀ bá fẹ́ lọ Nigeria ẹni right bá fẹ́ lọ Nigeria. Ẹ bá ń kí wọn dáadáa, ẹ bá ń kí sister yín ìyá mi Comfort. I appreciate wọn gan. Okay, yeah. While we were live yesterday, I was receiving a call. Call yẹn wà very urgent because family wọn lọlé money so too much, but it's just for advice fún ẹ̀yin tẹ́ bá wà lórí koikimedia. Tẹ́ bá fẹ́ lọlé, mo bẹ̀ yín ni, ó wà important. Ẹ má búùkì taxi láti inú airport. Kò ń ṣe pé kò safe, èmi ò mọ̀. But if you are going to Nigeria, make solid arrangements with people that you know to pick you up from the airport. Just reason, how you doing, my brother? Make solid arrangements. Fáwọn tí ẹ mọ̀ dáadáa ní kó gbé yín láti airport. Tẹ́ bá máa wá lo public transport, which is Uber or whatever airport taxi. Mo mọ̀ how safe they are. Mo kí àtó bí mi lọ́mọ. Welcome on board. Maze Gold, welcome on board. Once again, ọ̀rọ̀ eré kọ́ lélẹ̀, ọ̀rọ̀ tí mò ń sọ yìí, ẹni tí ó kàn, they were almost in panic, but as right now, there's nothing to be worried about because fóònù family wọn tó lọ́lé yẹn ló ní issue. Aago mẹ́ta ni the last conversation tó ní pẹ̀lú family wọn tó lọ Nàìjíríà, mo ní sọ country tó ti travel. Wọ́n ò rí wọn bá sọ̀rọ̀ láti aago mẹ́ta ọ̀sán àná. Ẹni tó gbé wọn ní airport ló ti gba mọ́tò yẹn. Ṣé mọ̀ pé ó lè bring panic lóòótọ́. Airport ni wọ́n ti book mọ́tò yẹn. Nigerian airport ni mo sọ, Muritala Mohammed Airport. There's a lot of security issue ní Nigeria. Ẹ má fi ṣeré. Ẹ má get carried away tẹ́ bá ń lọ́lé. Irú àwa la ní láti lọ́lé, kò sí nǹkan tó fẹ́ lọ múlé. Tí bá fẹ́ gàrí Ìjẹ̀bú, tí bá ti pè, wàá mọ bó ṣe máa bá fi ránṣẹ́ through DHL. Tó máa yá kíákíá, tí màá fi mú mọ́ínmọ́ín àti àkàrà níbí. Don't go to Nigeria if you are not confirmed a transport that will pick you up from the airport. And if you're going to use the local transport, láti inú Nigeria, láti Muritala Mohammed Airport, precisely. Ẹ jẹ́ kí driver yẹn mọ̀ pé ẹ take a picture ẹ̀ àti nọ́mbà mọ́tò yẹn pé fẹ́ send ẹ̀ séyàn tó jẹ́ family yìí. Ẹ gbọ́ mi dáadáa. Because látago mẹ́ta family tí mò ń sọ yìí wọ́n reach out sí ẹni tó jẹ́ mọ̀rẹ́bí wọn tó lọ Nàìjíríà títí di almost òru èlò. But one thing tí àwọn family yẹn tó ti ṣe ni pé wọ́n track number yẹn látòrí fóònù míì. Ẹ mọ̀ pé gbogbo àwọn phones wa yìí, if you have location set up. So ṣẹlẹ́yìn family wa kọ̀ọ̀kan kò ń ṣe gbogbo èèyàn ló máa mọ̀ ń pẹ́. So ẹ bá níyàn tó ń lọ́lé ẹ bá wọn set fóònù yẹn láti lè track ẹ̀. Wọ́n send gbogbo images ẹ̀ sí mi while I was live on the program yesterday. I don't want to give location, but à ń rí ẹni yẹn ní location in terms of location wọn, but a lè mọ̀ precisely ibi tó wà. Nígbà tí mo parí program, mo pè wọ́n. Mo ní tó bá máa fi di ilẹ̀ bá mọ́, tí a bá gbúrò ẹni yẹn, then I flag it up. But láàárọ̀ mo dúpẹ́ pé ìgbà tó máa fi di 4 ẹnìkan mi ti sùn tèmi, but ẹni tí nǹkan bá ń ṣe kò ní sùn. Ẹ̀rọ mi kọ́ nìkan ṣe. But nígbà tí máa jí láàárọ̀ yìí, wọ́n ti send the audio sí mi pé everything is okay. Fóònù wọn ni ó ní problem. Even though pé fóònù yẹn indicate tó wà on. two things tí mo fẹ́ ka kọ́gbọ́n nínú ẹ̀ fún èyí tẹ́ ń follow mi tẹ́ fi lọ́lé tẹ́ bá jẹ́ pé mọ́tò tí yín kọ́ lè fi wọ̀ ẹ jẹ́ kí dírẹ́fà yẹn kó mọ̀ pé mọ́tò yìí o àti plate number o àti mọ́tò yẹn o àti òun fúnra rẹ̀ picture ẹ̀ wà lọ́wọ́ ẹlòmíì ẹ gbọ́ mi dáadáa it could be anything this morning ó lè jẹ́ láàárọ̀ ìnísìnyí máa kọ́ wa pé ẹ gbà wá o èèyàn kan ti lọ́lé o wọ́n ti jí gbé ṣe rántí pé Nàìjíríà tí wọ́n ń lọ yẹn àwọn kìnìún kan wà níbẹ̀ tí àtúrí mo wo fíìmù kan láti inú airport ni wọ́n ti ń fún àwọn tó wà níta ní details ẹni tí wọ́n fi gbé so let us be very very careful Nigeria is kò síbi kankan tó safe ní Nigeria forget about pay safety kankan well look okay bí a kì í tún play video àbúrò wa so that ẹ̀ka ẹlẹ́mí okay mo ti gbọ́ èkó lélẹ̀ ti ṣẹlẹ̀.
wọ́n ní mọ́tò yẹn báyìí pátápátá ni màmá jókòó sí ẹ̀yìn ni mo wà ìlú wà lẹ́yìn orí dírẹ́fà yẹn ló ń wú lọ́kàn ẹ̀ títí rí orúkọ bóyá nọ́mbà bíyà ọtí yẹn nílé mi lọ ṣáà fàdúrà ẹ̀sìn wà lọ́kọ̀ mi ò balẹ̀ mọ́ má sọ fẹ́ níbodì tó ní mo mọ̀ ọ́ sí ìlú masáré lọ fún yọba àti lórí wọ́n máa fi ṣe mí ṣe yẹ̀yẹ́ tí kòkó bá ṣẹlẹ̀ ṣàárẹ̀ o.
orí tí kankan bá ṣẹlẹ̀ lẹ́ni nísìnyí she is no longer with us. ṣé àwọn àpótọ́ wáyé pé ó raise flag yẹn ó ti rí situation yẹn pé mọ́tò tó ń wọ̀ yìí ó paná kí ló ń ṣẹlẹ̀ tó bá yẹ pé bá mi ṣe ó raise more concern pé driver mo ti send video yín sí ọ̀rẹ́ mi kan o mo mọ̀ pé ẹ̀ ń gbé mi ẹ̀tọ́ náà o but fídíò mi tí mo ṣe nísinsìnyí kò sọ bẹ́ẹ̀ nígbà tí wọ́n send picture driver sí mi ẹni tó ya picture driver yẹn kó tẹ̀ ya kọ́kọ́ àròjù driver this is an advice fún ṣẹ́rí àwọn tó wà nílé oh my god iṣẹ́ pọ̀ tá a fẹ́ ṣe wọ́n dẹ̀ ní student àbí university lọmọ náà wà ìyẹn tó ẹni tó pàdé family yẹn bọ̀ kò bá family yẹn débi tó ń lọ òun ti bọ́lẹ̀ tó ń padà lọ sí school ẹ̀mọ́ kọ̀ lọ pàdé wọn ní airport ẹni tó wà ní ìlú yẹn ó ń sọ fún ẹni tó wà nílé pé bá mi take picture driver àti mọ́tò yẹn tẹ bá rí picture tó send sí mi kódà a lè rojú driver yẹn ó ní òun ò fẹ́ jẹ́ kó mọ̀ pé òun fẹ́ take picture another advice fẹ̀yìntì ẹ níyàn nílé ṣe náà tó wà nílé understanding wọn fún security ó ṣe díẹ̀ wọn wà security conscious rárá kí nípa ẹ̀pá wọn èèyàn dé láti lu ọba àbí àwọn á ní kò take picture driver ìwọ wá ń sọ pé ò fẹ́ kí driver yẹn mọ̀ pé ó fẹ́ ya picture ẹ̀ àti kò rí picture mọ́tò yà tábàtẹ̀ sọ pé kò ya picture driver àròjù picture ṣèbí gbà tó bọ́lẹ̀ nínú mọ́tò ṣèbó yẹ kó bá wa ya picture mọ́tò yẹn pẹ̀lú plate number kò tẹ̀ ya picture mọ́tò wàá dúpẹ́ pé as I speak today there is nothing to be worried but lánàá the family were concerned after the program mo pè wọ́n padà wọ́n dẹ̀ ti pè mí ìmọ̀ àti wọ́n ti sọ̀rọ̀ láàárọ̀ ẹ̀ wọ́n dúpẹ́ lọ́wọ́ mi gan àdìrí jù bẹ́ẹ̀ lọ for now lẹ́ẹ̀kan sí tó bá ń lọ Nàìjíríà èmi ò lè ní kó má lọ Nàìjíríà until tá máa fi cross over àìtí gba nation wa o mo mọ̀ pé wọ́n support gba country gbogbo yẹn fàbú ni kò sí ọkọ tó jọ bẹ́ẹ̀ pé ó ti gba country mo gbọ́ díẹ̀ nú ẹ̀ fàbú ni kò sí ọkọ tó jọ bẹ́ẹ̀ gbogbo tá à ń sọ repetitive ni wọ́n kàn hard money wọ́n yọ náà yáàdì money ọ̀rọ̀ tá gbé dání tẹ́ bá lọ gbọ́ ìtọ́ sọ ó ti yẹ yín tẹ́ bá ẹni tó bá gbọ́ èmi pé mi journalist làwa àá máa lọ gbọ́ mo gbọ́ díẹ̀ bẹ́ẹ̀ láàárọ̀ yìí ọ̀rọ̀ tó sì máa dìjà gbẹ̀yìn náà ni fọ́n sọ yẹn wọ́n ń dọ́gbọ́n ni bọ́wọ́ ti gba country but ọ̀rọ̀ báwọn ṣe ń sọ yẹn ọ̀rọ̀ tó máa di gbàgbòs tí sójà máa kọ́bọ̀n jáde gidi tó máa yìnbọn fẹ́ anybody pa Nàìjíríà lè fẹ́ gbà bẹ́ẹ̀ yẹn Nàìjíríà ń ṣe nǹkan ta lè náà fẹ́ gbà bẹ́ẹ̀ yẹn so gbogbo kàjọ Ọlọ́run yẹn àfi tí Ọlọ́run bá dàárín wọn rú nìkan ni ó lè fáwa ní stepping stone díẹ̀ láti gbé síwájú. Ẹ rò pé bàtà gan ni nǹkan tá a gbé dání ni mo gbọ́ díẹ̀ nínú nǹkan tó sọ. Ọmọ àwòyá yègé ìyá yìí the same thing ló kọ̀ ọ̀gbìn sí tó kàn mí pẹ̀lú nǹkan tó ń sọ. So but my focus point is ẹni bá ń lọ Nàìjíríà tó dẹ̀ mọ̀ kó fẹ́ padà sí bẹ́ẹ̀sẹ̀ ó mọ̀ pé bí kan ló ti ń bọ̀ ẹ rántí pé ìyá wa yèyé oge mò ń bẹ̀rù wọn nígbà tó náà lọ Ìbàdàn lọ láti bẹ́ẹ̀sì wọn because Nigeria is not safe. Ṣé rántí woman àwọn kan àǹtí wa kan tó lọlé tó pa sí Guru Maharaji ọkọ̀ sáré lọ bẹ́rì. It could be the family that is aware of that. It could be friends, it could be network of people that are aware that she's coming home. Wọ́n pa sínú mọ́tò ó dà ń pọ̀ tẹ̀nà ọmọ wọn bọ́ wa ní mọ́tò máa tàn ká woman yẹn. Ẹ rántí woman yẹn ní last year. Gbé kọ́kọ́ sáré lọ bẹ́rì ìyá wọn tó kú. She didn't return back to London yet o. Àwọn ọmọ mi tún ṣe post picture yẹn láìpẹ́ picture yẹn wà lórí timeline wa lánàá. So o lè rò pé Koikii okay mo ti gbọ́. Èmi ti sọ tèmi. Ọ̀rọ̀ àná ẹni tó bá follow program ẹ rí pé mo gbé kọ̀ọ̀kan lánàá tí mo ní amúwa lórí bọ́ ní àwọn mọ̀ pé kí n má bínú urgent ni mo ní kó send audio lọ́wọ́ bẹ̀rẹ̀ sí send the picture. Two things if you're going in Uber in Nigeria máa ó tó bá tẹ̀fẹ́ kí driver yẹn fẹ́ mọ̀ pé anything mo ti wà nínú Uber yẹn Mr. Man kí lẹ pé orúkọ yín nísìn kí lẹ pé plate number mọ́tò yìí okay no let somebody else knows àfi tó bá jẹ́ pé wo tó jẹ́ pé nǹkan míì ni wọ́n náà ẹ mọ̀ pé oríṣiríṣi àwọn ìbọn wa kan wà ẹ fẹ́ káwọn family yín especially ẹ̀ níyàwó labroad ẹ fẹ́ kọ ẹ ó yẹ yín ìyẹn but safety yín ẹ jẹ́ kí family yín mọ̀ if your family does not know your safety and you put them in panic and tó dẹ̀ lọ dòótọ́ ẹ bá lọ nìyí tẹ́ bá tẹ̀ ní nǹkan míì tẹ́ ń ṣe tẹ́ ẹ fẹ́ jẹ́ kí ẹ fẹ́ kí mọ́mì mọ̀ àbẹ́ dádì ò fẹ́ kí mọ́mì mọ̀ àbí mọ́mì náà fẹ́ kí dádì mọ̀ family issue nìyẹn but Nàìjíríà ti kọjá ìtẹ̀yìn sọ yẹn o ó ń ṣe gbogbo èèyàn tó wà Nàìjíríà ní criminal ẹ má get me wrong o but right ẹ má dẹ̀ gbé pé àwọn ọmọ Igbo nìkan ni yeah shut up I'm not interested in all that a ní criminal ọmọ Yorùbá a ní criminal Igbo a ní criminal Hausa a ní criminal Kanuri ojú dẹ̀ ń ṣẹ̀jẹ̀ airport ni wọ́n ti jí passport ìyá kan ní last year mo rí wẹ́rì láyé mi ìyá yẹn ti débi pé kọ́kọ́ lọ board the plane passport dẹ̀ sàn British passport gbogbo ilẹ̀ rí fídíò yẹn ìyá yẹn ti dé point of kọ́kọ́ wọ plane ẹ mọ̀ the last section tó máa ń set ẹrù wa bí ẹni tẹ́ fẹ́ gbé bí ẹni fẹ́ gbé nǹkan wọnú plane ẹ mọ̀ section yẹn that section the woman passport got lost wọ́n rí passport yẹn dọ̀la British passport that is inside the airport ẹ rántí makes good no rántí 2021 ló ṣẹlẹ̀ okay not last year 2021 so àwọn tó ń follow wọn yẹ kó máa follow ẹ bẹ̀ pé everybody like nǹkan tó máa dùn mọ́ wọn nú àti gba nation ẹ̀ so kó máa fi yẹn kó máa fi dùn wọn nú but in tó ń sọ tèmi gbọ́ towards the ẹ lọ gbọ́ towards the end ẹ lè má fi gbọ́ gbogbo ẹ fast forward I think about 20 minutes before the end ẹ lọ gbọ́ ọ̀kan tó sọ ẹ rí i pé kò sí content nínú ẹ̀ ìtàn sọ táwọn sọ tọkọ̀ ọ̀rọ̀ sọ yẹn èyí tí gọ́ọ̀mẹ̀ntì máa kó bọ̀n jáde tó máa bá everybody jà ẹni ìjà so it shows already based on tán sọ kò sílùú kankan tó ń báàkì wọn mo sọ fún yín pé àwa la máa dá wàhálà lẹ̀ kílùú kankan tó sọ̀kalẹ̀ because tílùú bá ń báàkì wọn ẹ rí nínú àwọn máa lọ ṣaṣọ sójà máa ṣaṣọ ọlọ́pàá nǹkan very funny individual you know mo fi bẹ́ẹ̀ lọ sọ́nà bẹ́ẹ̀ ẹ̀yin náà lọ gbọ́ ẹ kọ́ rí pé it's just it's crazy may Nigeria not happen to us so lẹ́ẹ̀kan sí ká tó play video ká tó play mo fẹ́ dìde fún few minutes 6 minutes ní video rẹ̀ ẹ jẹ́ ká ta ló ń sọ̀rọ̀ ìbọn níbí ẹ má sọ̀rọ̀ ìbọn níbí ẹ bá fẹ́ ìbọn ẹ lọ sọ yẹn ní ẹ lọ gbé yẹn lọ sí ẹ lè ṣe fídíò tí ẹ gbé fídíò jáde àbí ọ́díò yín Our ọ̀tàbọ̀n lórí bíbá yìí o, àdé ń ra ìbọn lórí bíbá. So please, Mr. Moses, desist from such, comment. We love you all. So, mo gbọ́ mẹ́sẹ̀gì ẹ̀ lánàá. No, àárọ̀ ìgbò mo gbọ́ díẹ̀ lánàá. Àárọ̀ ìmọ̀ á gbọ́ díẹ̀ náà again. Ọ̀rẹ́ rẹ̀ ni pé, mo ń bá ìyàwó kan sọ̀rọ̀ lánàá. Wọ́n ní Koikii, wọ́n ní program tí mo ṣe yẹn, tí mo ní Shadow and Bone. Ìjọ́ la ṣe program yẹn, ẹ̀ ń padà sínú record mi. Excuse me. On the 20th of March, ẹ rántí program yẹn tí mo ní Shadow and Bone. Tí mo ní ká wo Benin Republic, ká fi wo Nàìjíríà, ká wá blọ́ọ̀kì gbogbo tó connect Benin, kó gbogbo wa dúdú, bọ̀ kó tó wọnú Benin, tó bá ti wọnú ìwò yẹn, oríṣiríṣi monster ló wà níbẹ̀, òun lọ̀rọ̀ Nàìjíríà. Bóyá ká padà sínú fídíò tí mo fẹ́ play yẹn, tí wọ́n á fi padà wá. White Lion, there is one fixture in Uber, even you see type of but ẹni tó lo Uber àtẹni tó búùkù taxi nínú airport, taxi ò kì í ṣe Uber, wọ́n yàtọ̀. Airport taxi ni family yìí ló book wá tọdé ìgbà tọdé Muritala Muhammed airport lọ́sẹ̀ ń ṣe yẹn. Ẹ plan journey yìí. Nàìjíríà ò dàbí ti tẹ́lẹ̀. Ẹ plan journey kẹ́ tó lọlé. Mo sọ pé àwọn tó wà nílé gbogbo yín ni criminal. Ẹ má get me wrong. But a ti rí evidence pé ní airport ní 2021 ìyá tó fẹ́ padà wá sí UK, ìyá àgbàlagbà, ẹ dẹ̀ jí passport mú wọn lọ́wọ́. Bàbá wa tó kú tá gbé padà lọ sí Maryland kọ́lọ́mbà fọ̀rúnkẹ́ wọn. Ṣèbí Nàìjíríà, ìjọ́ tó dé Nàìjíríà ni kidnapper jí wọn gbé. So a lot is happening in Nigeria. Ẹ má dà ọ lọ́wọ́ ìtì gba nation, gbogbo tó ń ná gba nation yẹn, it's just so those taxis at the airport, they mostly use Toyota Camry and Big Daddy. Those men are evil. They already received intels from the airport. Wàá ṣàdúpẹ́ pé family tá ń sọ yìí àti rí wọn bá sọ̀rọ̀ ní òru èmi, látago 3 ọ̀sán àná lọ rí wọn bá sọ̀rọ̀, and I'm sure you know what I mean by that. So lẹ́ẹ̀kan sí àìtí gba country o, àti gbà ni àìtí gbà. Fẹ́ ká play video yẹn, aago kan máa end the program yìí so that màá lè relax to have, but sometimes if I go come, but let's watch this video of the ICU at the Royal Free London. Ibi tí Ikekere máa fi gbé ọmọ ìwà tó máa cost ẹni £80,000 because private lọ fi wá lò, but kò bọ́ sí ẹja padà sí fídíò yẹn. So màá mute mic mi, mo ń padà bọ̀. Mo kí ẹ̀yin tèmi lórí Mixlr, ṣàlàfíà ni mo bá yín. We don't know when this naira issue will resolve. Well, NLC ti náà máa jáde ní next week Wednesday, má worry. Mo kí yín Aláò bàbá. Ayọ̀ọ́lá, thank you so much. Ó dà pé comment 13 hours ago. But Aláò bàbá, I can see your comment and comment plan B. So ẹ jẹ́ ká wo fídíò yìí. Ẹ̀yin tẹ́ wà lórí Mixlr, ẹ jẹ́ ká jọ gbọ́. Lẹ́ẹ̀kan sí, if you're going to Nigeria or ẹ bá lẹ́yìn tó ń lọ Nigeria, ẹ sọ fún wọn pé kó búùkì. Ẹ má wọrí, máa dé pẹ̀lẹ́ nìyẹn nísìn. Ó ní alábòsí ni ní Koikii, alábòsí ni bàbá tó bí ẹ, ọmọ àlè. Alábòsí ni bàbá ẹ, idiot. Adéwálé ọmọ ọ̀hún àbí kí ló ń jẹ. Ṣé ẹ ti gba country ni? Wèrè. Ẹ jẹ́ kí ìyá ẹ̀ kó máa kó gbóyún lómi ọbẹ̀ jẹ. Ẹ jẹ́ kó máa kó yín lómi ọbẹ̀ jẹ pé ẹ ti gba country. Ṣé ẹ ti wá gba country náà? Ẹ gba country lẹ̀ tí rí nǹkan kan ṣe láti bẹ̀rẹ̀, àfi kẹ́ máa bú ègbú lórí kinní. Ti blọọkì lórí dànù. Bàbá ẹ̀ lálábòsí. Ẹ jẹ́ ká gbọ́ nǹkan ká fi gbọ́ níbí báyìí. Mo ń padà bọ̀. Idiot.
Welcome to the Royal Free and Barnet Intensive Care Unit, or ICU. This video is intended to give the family and friends of our patients a little more insight into what happens here and how we care for your loved ones. We know that this can often be a distressing time, and so hope to help by providing you with a better understanding of what we do. ICU staff members. This may all seem overwhelming, but please rest assured that your loved ones are being closely looked after by a large team of specialists, including, but not limited to, ICU nurses, continuously looking after your loved ones by the bedside 24 hours a day. Pharmacists are integral to our ward rounds and support our nursing staff, ensuring safe prescribing and optimising the administration of drugs. A consultant-led microbiology team daily ensure patients are on the correct antimicrobials, antivirals or antifungals. Doctors from other specialties also come to review the patients as needed. Physiotherapists help optimise the patient's breathing and during the recovery phase help them regain their mobility. Dietitians individualise the type and amount of feed a patient receives based on their needs. Speech and language specialists help patients with communication and help to safely build up eating and drinking for patients who have suffered from a critical illness. We have input from our palliative care team to help with communication, symptom control, and the individual needs of some of our patients. All ICU staff wear personal protective clothing, or PPE, that normally consist of an apron and gloves to stop the spread of infection. However, further precautions have to be taken when caring for COVID-19 patients. Why patients may come to intensive care. There are a number of reasons why patients may come to the ICU. They may need support with their breathing, their heart, their blood pressure, their kidney function, or a combination of these. Problems can arise as a result of an acute illness, major surgery, or trauma. Being in the ICU means that patients can be more closely monitored 24 hours a day, and staff can quickly respond to any changes that may occur. If a patient is finding it increasingly difficult to breathe, we may decide to support their breathing through one of two ways. The first is called non-invasive ventilation and involves administering breathing support through a tightly fitting face mask. This allows oxygen to be delivered under positive pressure, which helps support the lungs. For some patients, this may not be sufficient, and we may decide to place them on a ventilator. A ventilator is a machine which takes over the patient's breathing, moving air into and out of the lungs, whilst their body recovers from their illness. Sometimes, if a patient is more able to breathe on their own, a different ventilator mode is used, whereby each breath is supported. Supported breaths are used more in the less acute phase. Some patients in the ICU may require kidney support. This involves connecting them to a machine which takes over the jobs that the kidneys usually perform until they improve. Patients will also often require blood pressure support or support for their heart. This is achieved through monitoring their fluid levels and administering certain medications. Tubes and lines. If a ventilator is required, this will normally be connected to a breathing tube that is placed in the patient's airway by a doctor. This is called an endotracheal tube. You may find it distressing to see your relative with one of these tubes, but please rest assured that we remove them as soon as it is safe to do so. Another tube that you may see is one called a nasogastric or a nasojejunal, NG or NJ tube. This tube is used to help us feed the patient and is passed through either their mouth or the nostril into the stomach or small bowel. The patient may also have a catheter inserted. This is a plastic tube placed into the bladder in order to help us measure their urine. Doctors may insert smaller tubes called lines into the patient's blood vessels, often through the neck or the arm. Once again, we know that this can look quite alarming when you first see them, but they are very important as they allow us to closely monitor the patient's blood pressure, give them medications that have to be administered into large central vessels, and take blood samples to run important tests. There may also be a number of wires attached to the patient which are connected to various equipment and monitors. You may be able to hear alarms or beeping from the equipment, but this is simply intended to help us keep a close eye on the patients and to monitor their progress. Medication. Some of the medications we give are to sedate the patient. This means that their body can focus on recovering from their illness and that they are kept comfortable despite all the tubes and equipment being used. We also give them painkillers to ensure that they are not in any pain, and they may be given medication to control their blood pressure. Other medication, which may also be used, include drugs to control blood sugar levels or antimicrobials if the patient has an infection. We hope you have found this video helpful. Please contact the team with any queries or if you need further information on ICU or for any additional support.
Well, lára àwọn ẹ jẹ́ ká tún wo more of their videos. Cherry Nigeria ti ṣe damage sí wa kò ń ṣe kékeré, and gbogbo àwọn tẹ́ ń rí wọ́n train wọn. Mo kí ẹ ẹ̀gbọ́n mi Azeez kò ní bàjẹ́ fún ẹ. You're welcome Moses, that's okay. Mo kí gbogbo ẹ̀yin tí ẹ̀ ń gbọ́ wa. As usual, yeah, you're right, Mr. Phillips. So sorry, guys, they will never do that in Nigeria. If they do, they won't be able to get free kidney. Mo tún fẹ́ wo another video kan. Then when I come back, we open our phone line. We have a long way to go. Nigeria, they are not investing in anything and they are holding us back. Another one. Working with dementia is another area. Okay, you don't need to be an expert. Work with someone with dementia. At least I'm not having dementia or not. And as we come back into the conversation, I say thank you so much to those of you that have been with us in the last an hour. The line is open, I can flow, so I need a particular area that we are touching on. So we're going to be diving into different areas as usual. But later on, during our late night, we normally have a particular topic. Healthcare is very, very important. But it's expensive. Even in the UK now, could have been tẹ́lẹ̀ mọ́, ó ti change gan, but it's still there for people. Prince Adebayo Mokin Shitu, Mokin Egbomi Tony Ages. Now let's come back to Momo Kokolano lórí Instagram. No, kò tẹ́ ṣé mi ni mo rí wife mi lórí kí n má parọ́. So mo wá àwa lọ wò lórí YouTube. Farming industry. Òun ló yẹ kó revolutionize Nigeria. But unfortunately, it doesn't work like that. Let's take this call. Hello, caller. Hello, caller.
Good afternoon, Mr. Koikii.
A very good afternoon, sir.
Mr. Koikii. Hello?
Mo ń gbọ́ yín.
Ṣé ẹ gbọ́ mi, sir?
Bẹ́ẹ̀ni, sir.
Mr. Koikii, yeah. Mo kàn ní pé nípa wọ́n ọ̀gbìn ọkọ̀ fún your persistence about the issue of the Yoruba nation. It's very good. And may God continue to bless you.
Amen.
Mo fẹ́ comment lórí fídíò tẹ play about ITU stuff.
Okay. Ẹ go ahead, sir.
I want to make time. And I like how that video was detailed to know what Nigerians are actually missing. And so, Ekimada was capacity lórí program. That's why I'm taking the good.
Okay.
I work in hospital, but I don't work in night.
Okay.
But I work in another sector, which sometimes when I see what these people are enjoying it, I really feel sorry for my fellow brethren back home. I work on X-ray. I work on diagnostic imaging.
X-ray.
Tí Yorùbá ti ní nǹkan kékeré lára tó kàrà sún kékeré báyìí pé pé táìpé Nàìjíríà ni wàá kó gbà ọ̀gbádùn ṣàkíní tìmẹ́lẹ̀. Òyìnbó máa gbé wá hospital. Wọ́n máa scan ẹ̀. Ṣé ẹ mọ iye tí gọ́ọ̀mẹ̀ntì ná láti lè ní appointment tiẹ̀? Pẹ̀lú radiology sonographer or radiologist radiographer tó máa scan ẹ̀ tó máa ṣe fún owó kìí fún wọn. Lẹ́yìn ìgbà yẹn sample tó bá tí ò bá jẹ́ nítorí wọn gbókè o is that not to worry. But sometimes wọ́n intercept àwọn kọ̀ọ̀kan tó yẹ pé wọ́n ní intervention tó yẹ pé téèyàn bá fẹ́ bù gan owó lè kú. Gbogbo àwọn tubes tẹ rí lórí NGT program tẹ́tẹ̀ yẹn.
Bẹ́ẹ̀ni sà.
Wọ́n máa require radiology àbí scan tàbí ẹ̀kan láti tí ò bá rí pé nǹkan dókítà ló máa mú kí ni ultrasound tó máa fi trace treatment tó máa insert àwọn lines wọn fi síbi apá yẹn. Government are working, they are spending money.
Kí ló wá dé tí tọ̀dọ̀ ti wọ̀ rí bẹ́ẹ̀ dádì? Kí ló dé tí ti wọ̀ rí bẹ́ẹ̀?
Koikii ẹ̀yin lẹ ti experience bó lẹ fẹ́ explain báwo èèyàn. Because they won't believe. I was so sad when I see people going around elections choosing different criminals.
Radiology tẹ̀sán nísìnyí náà ni wọ́n ṣò ní System Thomas ni mo ń ṣò lọ́wọ́ báyìí nísìnyí. Radiology is part of a clinical imaging.
Go and check CT because it is tomographic pictures. You have MRI, magnetic resonance imaging. You have ultrasound.
Ultrasound. Wọ́n ní 400 examination per year. So lára àwọn tẹ̀ ń sọ yìí náà ni wọ́n ti calculate mọ́ wọn 14 X-ray room. Kábíyèsí Elédùmarè.
And now look at the scene. Every time that was there was sky. How would you see it?
Image intensifier, OHAM, DR mobile, CR mobile, CT scanner, intervention suite, hybrid theater.
Ṣé ìgbọ́n àwọn staff náà sọ yìí? Ó tún wá láwọn doctors pé pé àwọn máa jókòó lóṣù kan tó ń fún wọn tó ń lè lọ́kàn wọn ni wọ́n tó fẹ́ jókòó sùn yàrá kan nínú that place wọ́n ń wo àwọn image ṣe tó scan lára ẹ̀. Somebody can't have my ticket. African gets one left, man. What's not there? Maybe you don't have chemotherapy, and anything. Most of any girl, I was just one of my friends to go to go.
Hey, tíyàn bá kú nílùú òyìnbó ó ti tó time. Ọlọ́jọ́ ti dé.
Because there's always, even the one just before I was so big girl, in fact, 12 years I'm happy. Nigeria knows so big.
Àtẹ̀mọ́ tó ń jẹ́ bẹ́ẹ̀ ni.
Nígbà àwọn tó wà ní gbogbo ẹ̀ ti lọ, wọ́n máa kú o. Koikii,
ẹ ṣé gan ni. Thank you so much. Ẹ ṣé gan ni. Thank you so much. Àwọn kì í ṣe politician, but wọ́n ní Adeleke ni ó sì jẹ́ uphold. Kí ló mean by that? Appeal court uphold Adémọ́lé Adeleke as tribunal said judgment. That's tí wọ́n ń ṣẹlẹ̀. Breaking Amoke police. Kí ló mean by ẹ̀jẹ̀ kàkà channels. The Osun tribunal held that Adeleke did not score the majority of the lawful vote during the July 16 governorship election, but the verdict has now been set aside by the Court of Appeal. The Court of Appeal sitting in Abuja has set aside the decision. Anyway, we'll come back to that. Eléyìí la fẹ́ jókòó lé. Ẹ wo àwọn machine. Ẹ wo machine tó kọ́ mi. Ẹ̀jẹ̀ má bínú ẹja.
101.
Gbogbo ẹ̀yin tẹ́ bá fẹ́ pè náà lè pè +44 74 04 05117. Ní topic so I'll dive into any area that you think that you want to talk about. Ẹ̀rílẹ̀ ní program iṣẹ́ tèmi ni pé kí wọ́n níbà tó bá ti rẹ ẹ̀jẹ̀ ara mi àtomi ara.
One brand new XOR pediatric cath lab. Many comfortable and high-spec reporting stations for reporting radiographers. There is also a large MRI, ultrasound, nuclear medicine, and PET department.
What's on the PET department? Ayé anima ó dá nílùú yìí. PET department. Mo kí ẹ bẹ́ẹ̀. Agzoba, very good afternoon and welcome to the program. Kò ṣe pé Nàìjíríà náà ní owó láti build ṣé mo lọ gbé àwọn ẹgbẹ́ ti bẹ̀ ṣé mo kó gbé àwọn equipment oníbìkan tó máa ń tà sí padà tó ti máa ń ṣe auction ẹ̀. Àwọn boys kan wọ́n ti rán mi iṣẹ́ lágbà tí mo ní van mo máa lọ bá wọn gbé medical equipment lọ máa ń tà ní gbogbo ibẹ̀ yẹn very very powerful medical equipment. Ẹ̀yin ará Abuja ti dé báyìí o kí la tún máa gbọ́ báyìí ní ẹ̀gbọ́n mi. Ẹ̀yin ti jẹ lára wọn tẹ́lẹ̀ ẹ ti jẹ lára wọn náà ẹ̀yin ti wọ́n ké àbí gbogbo furniture tí bá tẹ̀ máa tábà máa gba Yorùbá nation ní sí àwọn furniture ẹni ọ̀fẹ́ ni máa gbà lọ́wọ́ yín eléyìí tí mo like white wọn ní kẹ́ white yà máa tètè dọ̀tí olówó dẹ̀ like ìdọ̀tí. Ọ̀dà ẹgbẹ́ òṣòkè ẹja èmi nìyẹn.
Ṣẹ́rí ẹni gbọ́dọ̀ sọ̀rọ̀ ń pa ẹ̀kẹ́ wa. Ṣẹ́rí tí tó bá ṣe pé a ní ọdún tó dà kí làwọn olórí wa lọ ṣe ń gbé ìbò. Kò sí ṣẹ́rí ní Àbújá tá a wà yìí ṣẹ́rí l'Àbújá tá a wà yìí ọ̀sìnì tó bá wà standard àwọn ló ní àwọn tó dẹ̀ ti níyẹn tó jẹ́ àwọn olórí wa yẹn wọn ò kí lọ síbẹ̀ lọ gba treatment o. Wọ́n máa fly wọn ni o. Àwọn olórí oní best hospital ní Àbújá ìtumọ̀ ń bá yín sọ̀rọ̀. Àwọn olórí yẹn ló ní ibẹ̀ tí kọ́kọ́ bá ṣe wọ́n náà wọn ò ní lọ síbẹ̀ o. Irú àwọn tó kàn jẹ́ mínísítà tó jẹ́ kọmíṣánná tó jẹ́ chairman local government ṣe understand. Irú àwọn ẹlẹ́ọ̀kà ló lówó tó máa lọ síbẹ̀ yẹn pé àwọn lówó ti Nàìjíríà lọ́wọ́. 2 years ago tí màmá mi kú sílé kí ló pa màmá mi ojú ṣọ́ọ̀kì lọ. And then ìkọ́kọ́ pé màmá mi pé ẹgbẹ́ ẹ̀ kú ṣọ́ọ̀kì yẹn mú òun náà ṣe understand. Kí n tó pè pé kán tó sọ pé màmá mi ṣọ́ọ̀kì mú mo ti kọ́kọ́ rọ́ọ̀ṣẹ̀ lọ sí hospital tó wà ní Òmùaran ní ọ̀dọ̀ wa ń bẹ̀ yẹn. Gbà tó máa fi dé Òmùaran gan tó story ṣe understand. Bẹ̀tù ó ní bàbá tó pè yẹn fi sọ pé àmọ́ ní ọlọ́jọ́ ló dé. Tó bá ìpínlẹ̀ Èkó ní ṣe sọ́ọ̀tì tó yẹ kó máa ṣe tí ọlọ́jọ́ kò tí ì dé. Gbogbo nǹkan la máa ní distant reach for Nigeria. Irọ́ dẹ̀ ni. Kò sí ìwòsàn bíbá ìlà. Ìwòsàn wo ni? Àná ọmọ mi lè kí ọ̀sẹ̀ àárẹ̀. if you sick for a year or you get accident for a year, if your time is still there, now you go still live.
You go still live.
Nígbà ọ̀rọ̀ security yẹn,
Bẹ́ẹ̀ni
nígbà
sà.
ọ̀rọ̀ security Uber yẹn, ṣé bí àwa táwa Nàìjíríà gan ọ̀sẹ̀, ṣé aṣèpù nìkẹ́ má sọ pé yìí tẹ́ ń bọ̀ wálé láti òyìnbó ìlú. Ẹ gbàgbé pé ìtàn sọ pé Uber wà. Gbogbo ẹ̀ ní bíbá scam ni o. Because èèyàn yes gbogbo ẹ̀ ní Nàìjíríà scam ni because èèyàn tó wà bíbá tí ìyá ti jẹ. Èyí wá gbé blue case ẹ gbé dọ́là sínú ẹ̀. Àbí mo rí aago ọwọ́ yín ó wọ́ọ̀chì aago ọwọ́ yín wọ́ọ̀chì about 1 million 2 million. Ó máa dáìfì wọn gbó ni ó máa lọ discharge. Kí lẹ sọ ìjọba ti ẹ̀gbá yín tẹ́ bá ètè corporate o. O lè máa gbàyàn ọ̀bẹ tí yóò bá corporate story. Ọ̀kadà ní bíbáyìí ní ọ̀kadà gbàgbọ́ládá bíbáyìí gbàgbọ́ládá níbi ọ̀kadà gbàgbọ́ládá tó bá ti di nǹkan bíi 7:30 ọ̀kadà bá ti dé yìí tó wá lọ pé àmásí òun ní fọ́ọ̀tì ní báyìí láwọn Haúsá yẹn o today be Friday now today be Friday ẹ máa ní wọ́n ti lọ kí ló ṣe o ìyẹn oníkan kúrò níbi mọ́ṣáláṣí yẹn ká má lọ jalè wọn o tó bá ti lè gbé yín báyìí tọ́kadà bá ti lè sọ pé àmásí òun ní fọ́ọ̀tì lọ́nà báyìí kó tètè bẹ́ sọ̀kalẹ̀ kó máa sá lọ ni o ó máa yọ ọ̀bẹ sí ẹni ó máa gba gbogbo tó mú lọ́wọ́ ni tó bá ti di 7:30 báyìí gbẹgbẹrẹdà bíbá yìí ẹ bèrè àwọn tó bá ń gbẹgbẹrẹdà kọ́kọ́ fún nǹkan tí mo ń sọ yìí yóò ṣe pípọ́ ọ̀kadà yẹn ti bàjẹ́ ó bá ti lè pẹ́ ọ̀kadà máa yọ báyìí tó bá ti lè sọ̀kalẹ̀ báyìí lásán ó máa yọ ọ̀bẹ síyàn ni wọ́n àkọsí wà ládùúgbò mi ìgbà tó bá wọn ṣàgídí wọ́n gun lọ́bẹ̀ lọ́wọ́ ọ̀bẹ wọ owó ọwọ́ ẹ̀ ó jáde ní òdì kejì. So àwọn tá à ń gbé bíbá a máa bá ṣe ń mú fún ara wa.
So báwo la ṣe fẹ́ sọ́ọ̀bù ọ̀rọ̀ security ẹ̀gbọ́n mi in reality báwo ló yẹ kọ́.
Ẹ̀gbọ́n mi ṣe ẹ fẹ́ gbọ́ títọ́
ṣe bọ́
ti dìbò fún Tinubu àbí.
Bẹ́ẹ̀ni sà.
Ṣé bọ́ ti dìbò fún Tinubu báyìí go and stop security yẹn nonsense èkó gba tó ti wá gan on stop security ní ká máa pé the whole Nigeria the whole nation of Nigeria. a máa tuntun gbúrò àwọn Taliban yẹn tó tuntun kidnap wọ́n bá ìyá kan sùn tó ọ̀nà ọ̀bá sùn bọ̀ wọ́n jìyà wọ́n pa ọmọ ìyá yẹn ní Ondo State. ẹ sà wọ́n ti padà wá ìdídò Àbújá tá a wà yìí gan-an wọ́n ti padà wá Niger State tí mo máa ń lọ yẹn wọ́n ti padà wá báyìí ṣé ọ̀rá star. Nǹkan tó kàn fi reduce díẹ̀ nípa cash money cashless money tá a ní àlówó kò sówó owó tẹ́ ẹ nìkan ní báńkì ẹ̀ lè gbà. Kí ṣe bá rí kì í ṣe bẹ́ẹ̀ náà máa tẹ̀ ẹ́ máa ń fìwẹ̀ fún yín. O fẹ́ gba 10,000 wọ́n lè fún ẹ ju best bank ní Nàìjíríà wọ́n lè fún ẹ ju 10,000 lọ́ọ̀tọ̀ on top of your money. À ń fi 4,000 400 ra 1,000 ní nípa ẹ̀. 400 naira lẹ máa fi lọ ra 1,000 máa fún yín 600 naira bá a ṣe ń ra nìyẹn l'Ábùjá. Ẹ bèrè lọ́wọ́ ẹlòmíì èèyàn tó wá láìkì ẹ tó bá mọ̀ ẹ́ dáadáa 300 wàá gba 700 ní 1,000. Ṣọ́wọ́ ti bàjẹ́ ni. So ẹ wá ní ẹnìkan wọlé ó máa tún Nàìjíríà ṣe. Ṣé rí Nàìjíríà yìí bí táwọn kan bá ti ń gbé sókè àwọn kan máa gbé wálẹ̀. Bó ṣe rí inú Yorùbá nation yẹn. Ṣé àwọn ìyá mi tí wọ́n ti gba ẹ̀wọ̀n tó bá lọ fún àsọdọ̀ àwọn ìyá yẹn lásán wọ́n kó pọ̀ tiẹ̀ ó tiẹ̀ ní nílẹ̀ ẹ̀rọ ẹ̀gán wò ní rí ọlọ́pàá olóògbé nation wèrè wo náà gbà ẹ má lọ jò.
Ẹ mọ̀ pé Àbújá lẹ́yìn wà bíyàn bá ń sọ pé Yorùbá nation wọ́n ti gba country nínú Àbújá tẹ̀yìn wà ẹ̀ kílẹ̀ báwo lẹ́yìn ṣe rí sí.
Tí wọ́n bá sọ fẹ́ mi pé wọ́n ti gba country mi wọn ò tiẹ̀ ní sọ pé ti gba country ṣé mi ò sínú Yorùbá nation ni ṣé ọ̀kan ló máa sọ pé ti gba Yorùbá nation fún mi ni for what reason ṣé mi kò sí níbẹ̀ ni ṣé mi ò máa lọ dé mo ní mo lọ kí ìyàwó mi sí Lọ́kọ́jà ẹ̀rọ bí ṣeréṣeré ni tó bá ti dágbà ọ́fíìsì àti fo bíríìjì Lọ́kọ́jà ẹ̀rọ problem mi nà má ti lè fo mítàlá bíríìjì yẹn mo ti lọ nìyẹn ṣé ó ìsì ni kò sí kó tó ẹ̀wọ̀n bíbá yìí scam ní Nàìjíríà ẹ má yìí kọ́ tọ̀ yìí wọ́n tó bá fẹ́ wáyé láti ìbò wá bọ́dà tó mọ̀ wọ́n náà bọ́dà tó mọ̀ gan kò sí trust náà ní problem. Àwọn pọlísà ti kó rádaràda wọ Nàìjíríà gbà jẹ́.
Ti kó rádaràda ẹ ṣé gan ni thank you so much.
Ti kó rádaràda ẹgbẹ́ tó fẹ́ pè wọ́n gbé airport gan má trust ẹ̀. Ó máa dágbó ẹ̀ Nàìjíríà àṣírí mo sọ fún yẹn.
Chikena, bàbá yìí ó ti jẹ́ lára politician tó ń pè yìí ó ti jẹ́ òun ló ń ṣe furniture fún wọn ní gbogbo Àbújá ń bẹ̀ ẹ̀gbọ́n mi dáadáa ni. How to apply ẹ̀jàgbọ́n ti Mary.
I am a specialist nurse at St. John's Institute of
Ẹ lè pè wọlé anytime má wọrí nípa fídíò tí mò ń play tẹ́ bá ti pè má pọ̀sẹ̀.
Why we use paste bandages, and I will show you how to apply them safely. Please note that this is a general guide and should not replace the advice given to you by your doctor or nurse.
Ẹni fẹ́ jọmọ Yorùbá àbẹ́rẹ́ gbogbo là tó wà lójú àbọ̀wọ́ Ghana. Àìmọye àwọn èèyàn wa tó ń ṣiṣẹ́ ní NHS. Àdè láwọn ti wá nílé. Tọ́sí ṣe wá bọ́ ṣe máa cross over. Kí la máa ṣe sọ́rọ̀ ẹ̀ báyìí?
Paste bandages are cotton bandages that are impregnated with medicated pastes which provide relief from itchy skin conditions such as eczema. Your doctor or nurse may suggest using paste bandages in addition to other prescribed skin creams such as moisturizers or steroids, as placing a bandage over these treatments can make them work better. Paste bandages are non-elastic. The methods of applying the bandages, which I'm about to demonstrate, allow the bandages to expand if there is any limb swelling. Paste bandages can easily stain fabric materials, so it is recommended to use a surface that is easy to clean. You would need to have all the following equipment ready before starting. Paste bandages. They are single use only. Scissors, ideally scissors that have a blunt end. Outer tubular bandage that is measured to cover each limb. This keeps the paste bandage in place and prevents staining to clothing. Emollient, which is pre-poured out, and topical steroids if you have been instructed to do so. Before starting, wash your hands. Clean the area to be bandaged by washing with a soap substitute or as per the advice of your doctor or nurse. At the area dry. If you have been directed to use topical steroids under the bandages, apply this to the area affected. There are two common methods used to apply paste bandages. This method will be used to cover one of the upper limbs, starting from the wrists to the shoulder. Start by wrapping the bandage around the front of the wrist and right around the back of the wrist, carefully smoothing the bandage down as you go. The bandage should then be brought back up to the front of the wrist, and once you reach half the width of the first wrap, fold the bandage to create a pleat and continue in the opposite direction, wrapping under the arm, across the top and folding to create the pleat. Each pleat will change the direction that the bandage is being applied. It is important that the folds are created at different places to prevent a single pressure point.
Ìwọ wá ṣetán, ìwọ student, ó wá kọ́ ilé ní university, ní medical sector, ó wá lọ ń ṣe POS, ó wá ní Nigeria is working. So how do you want to support the people? Ṣé bí ìyá wa tí sísítà wa tó ń ṣe lè nísìn, ṣé tó bá yẹ kó kàwé tán ní UK, ó wá ní kó wá lọ máa ṣe POS? And this is why we are saying Nigeria is gone into distress. Distress ní Nigeria wà. Ẹ jẹ́ ká tún fi lè sílẹ̀. A kàn ń flow ní láàárọ̀ ẹ̀. Guys and St. Thomas Hospital, ibi tí mo mọ̀ dáadáa ni. 500,000 vacancy. Iṣẹ́ 7 months ago today, we vaccinated our first patient against COVID. Oh, vaccine, vaccine. Let's go back. Once again, a very good afternoon. This is what you expect in a society that wants to work. But Nigerians say, Koikii, it's okay. Children are welcome to Children Hospital. Àwọn kì í sọ pé ọmọ kan ní disability, gbogbo ọmọ lọmọ wa níbí báyìí. But in Nigeria, ẹ tó bá ní disability, baba problem. Eleven London Specialist Hospital, they lay.
We provide life-changing care for children, young people, and their families. We have expert teams, equipment, and facilities dedicated to our 30 different areas of medicine, available 24 hours a day. Children and their families come to us from London, all over southeast England and beyond. And they tell us we don't feel like a hospital. We feel like family. Once you see our hospital services and meet our staff, you'll see why.
Benny, Ayuba, Nigeria is in coma.
Children helped design our hospital. It's bright and friendly and has plenty of places to play. We have 281 beds, 7 operating.
So 281 beds. Ní Ọ̀yọ́ state nísìn, mo máa sọ òun ló ṣì wà níwájú mi than 3 local government. I think our best hospital would have been UCH. Ẹ jẹ́ ká lọ wo UCH. They are married anything lára UCH. UCH Ìbàdàn. Kò ṣe pé wọ́n láwọn gbòógì èèyàn níbẹ̀. So this is our own UCH. Aláwọn tó jẹ́ good man tó jẹ́ ṣọ́gà wọn lélẹ̀ Professor Jesse Abiodun Ọ̀tẹ́gbáyọ̀ made the chief medical director. He was born just after independence. So these are people he was born on the 17th of December 1961. So just a year after Nigeria independence. He attended Ìlá Grammar School, Ìlá Ọ̀rọ̀gún. Mo ní bàbá mi kan ní Ìlá Ọ̀rọ̀gún tó jẹ́ báyìí mo ti bá wọn sọ̀rọ̀. 1977 to 1978. Africa profile wọn. Ẹni tó jẹ́ professor of medicine and consultant and blah blah blah. He studied at the College of Medicine, University of Ibadan, from where he graduated MBBS in 1989. After 1-year internship program at Obafemi Awolowo University Teaching Hospital Complex in Ile-Ife in the 90s, he proceeded to the Nigerian Navy Medical Center, Sapele in Bendel State for the mandatory National Youth Corps Temanche in Delta State in 1992. He underwent his residency training program at the University College Hospital Ibadan in 1992 in internal medicine with bias in gastrology. He obtained the fellowship of West African College of Physicians in 1998, having won the Bashar Thomas Biomedical Foundation grant to study hepatitis C B and hepatitis C in acute hepatitis C 1997. Professor Ọ̀tẹ́gbáyọ̀ was appointed lecturer 1 and consultant. So not that we are ní àwọn èèyàn tó wà capable, but the problem we are having is they are not giving what it takes. Mo kí ìyàwó Òsíkálú Kẹ́mi Ẹ̀kábọ̀mọ̀. I'm trying to find a video. Wọ́n jẹ́ kó record lọ́dọ̀ tiwa. Let's see if we can find any video. Clinical. Uninterrupted power supply. So wọ́n náà wọ̀n yàn tó wà intelligent tó wà níbẹ̀. Chief Tony Anini Gatrick Center. You see them? Very, very in a different department. Doctor this, doctor that. But the problem they're having is they are not getting enough money to function, to allow these research to work to the extent of what we are showing in UK. Because what I'm showing in the UK, not in sin. So by the later I'm showing not in the UK, in sin, right? I'm trying to see if we can find it. Let me close this one. Again, mo fẹ́ ká máa rántí àwọn criminal brothers here. They're called the Shagoris. I'm sure a lot of you know them. They are criminals. So, but they're born in Nigeria, but Lebanese heritage. And also the program to Moshe Lano. 3 hours, I talked about them. I want to see if we can bring anything. No, Baba. I'm sorry. UCH Ibadan. A week in life, my clinical. So Jeka Wele. I do not own the copyright to this video. A week in life, my clinical affiliation at this age. So let's watch our beautiful sister.
To write
Next place. So guys, I'm in Ibadan and I'm here for my application program as a physiotherapy student of Obafemi Awolowo University. Yes, I chose this age for my application. So application program as a physiotherapy student is just basically choosing another hospital. Just basically choosing another hospital to like learn another hospital aside your school's hospital. The normal posting, right? But you are doing it outside your school or outside your hospital. So I chose UCH as my own application destination or location. So here I am, and today is Tuesday. So I was supposed to start this video yesterday, but I wasn't able to do that due to some reasons. But now I'm here to deliver. Time is like few minutes to 10. It's some minutes to 10, and so far so good. I've been trying to like maximize this time before I go to resume in the afternoon. Yes, they did this roster thing for us, like a duty, morning duty and afternoon duty thing. So today I'm on afternoon duty, which is going to start by 1 p.m. and end by 6 p.m. I'm so grateful for this duty, morning, afternoon duty thing, because we were supposed to like from morning to like to like afternoon.
So now that we don't have, Nigerians or Yorubas, that are prepared to serve, but say Nigeria fẹ́ jẹ́ serve, because by the time you look at what she has been saying there, you realize that they want to do something. They want to make sure that this is what they love to do. This is what an hospital looks like, or probably maybe their lecture room. I don't know. Let's release the audio there. Okay, yeah. Treatment and cubicles rooms. I don't give a shit about you, baby. I can't forget you, baby. So again, it's all about investment. Bringing the new equipment there. There are people that are ready to serve, but are there government that is ready to support? How much is Governor Makinde investing in this UCH? Let's look for another UCH at a glance. This is 2 years ago. Once again, this is Koikimedia, and we're going to be bringing the program. Yoruba Nation is our only hope. Definitely, let's watch this video. This is UCH 2 years ago. We have a call coming through. So I have the call here. Hello, caller. Ètò ni ẹ sà. Ọmọ àwáyé kò sọ́gbọ́n ẹ̀. That's the only way. Látòkè délẹ̀. It's okay. Go ahead. I'm going.
Madness, right? So when the phone to the shelter, so but to paradise but you might supply if I buy you Arabia to pretend. ó jẹ gba lọ́jọ́ yẹn o. Along the line after social media àbáwábò òṣìṣẹ́ complete olówó wà òkè ó bẹ̀rẹ̀ tí. Kí ni ẹ̀ tún wá ṣe ìgbé? Ẹni tó wà lọ́dọ̀ ẹ̀ àwọn yẹn wọ́n ní máa dárí pẹ̀sì but wà ní ìṣá. Àwọn yẹn ti kúrò ọlọ́ọ̀kì family wọn. Wọ́n ṣe so along the line ó pè àwọn ìgbésẹ̀ bá wọn sẹ́yìn. To send the information back. Two different quotation conclusion. After the 20% working about 100,000. 20% another 100,000. When it goes away, it's sorrow. When I make it, at first, tax because it's effective. And you know that one company dream to stop it. So but yeah, we need to buy also who was said who said 100,000, 200,000. But what 40,000, only 40,000 going check. Mommy, only the phone. Don't send 40,000. Another 40,000. I saw for law, right? So for law, yeah. My issue. Báyìí ìdúgbò ètò ṣe ń sọ̀rọ̀ tó ń mí sókè lórí sílẹ̀ kí ló ṣẹlẹ̀ ọlọ́run ìjọba ìrọ̀ ilé ìpamọ́ kọjá oúnjẹ yóò wáyé kó tó ìṣẹ́jú nínú kan ìyàwó ìpè kọ́ àṣẹ òtí collapse ẹni tó ṣá ìyàwó èsì kọ́kọ́ ọ̀rọ̀ family yẹn ọlọ́jì family wọn lọ́ọ̀rẹ́ máa fi padà ìdílé máa ń lè lọ́sàn án rọ̀ ìṣẹ̀lẹ̀ sí. Biggest hospital in Ghana. That's how oxygen ọ̀pẹ ìyàwó ọ̀pẹ driver ọlọ síbẹ̀ ló ṣẹlẹ̀ báyìí test lóríṣiríṣi lọ sàmùbà pátọ́márì test máa ṣe wọ́n ti ní diabetes sugar level 700 much to death. Doctor, this diabetes ló ti wà lára ẹ̀ for the past 6 years. Kó tó wọ̀ lórí ìyá o.
Ló ti gbé sára.
So.
Ẹni tó bá dẹ̀ mọ̀ pé òun ní nǹkan bẹ́ẹ̀ kò ní lè mọ bó ṣe fi máa treat ẹ̀. Òun náà ni.
Kò mọ̀. Àbẹ̀ ti kú pẹ̀lú oldage àbẹ̀ ti kú ṣá. Àpè ìyá ẹ̀ ní ohun nǹkan tó ń jẹ́ bẹ́ẹ̀. Ọkọ ìyá ẹ̀ ní kò sí nǹkan tó ń jẹ́ bẹ́ẹ̀ fún káfíńtà àwọn. Ọmọ bàbá ẹ̀ lọ. Ìyá ẹ̀ tó pẹ̀ gbọ́dọ̀ àgbẹ̀yẹ náà. Ókè, ta ló sẹ́nu kù sí? Ìjọba tó ti lọ ìyàwó mi fún àpòlù. Ó ní ọmọ yìí bẹ̀rẹ̀ sí ní pé friend ní Facebook. Ló lọ jámọ̀ ọ́ fún online. Lọ́jà ètò ìdílé stage yẹn, bàbá bèrè bóyá lówó fún ẹ̀ sẹ́jà ọba àwọn ìgbàlẹ̀ ìlú kọ̀ọ̀kan. Ọ̀fẹ́ yìí ṣe fẹ́ ṣe ọ̀. Àtẹ̀bá dúpẹ́ lórí ọ̀pẹ ìfọlọ́wọ́.
Òkè ẹ̀gbọ́n mi Báyọ̀.
Pé ọkọ̀ online. Lọ sẹ́nu wò. Bàbá ń ṣàṣì fún mi. Bàbá ní ọmọ ẹ̀ ti ṣe nǹkan tó tó yìí. Ó sẹ́nu ó sọ̀rọ̀ fún online. Ọ̀pẹ̀ ẹran ó ní kọ́bà òun fẹ́ big money. Kọ́bà òun ṣe
ó fẹ́ ṣe money ritual. Ẹni tẹ́ ń sọ ìka lè gẹ́tẹ̀ ṣé Benghazi lẹni ìwà mi.
Benghazi.
Okay.
The money ritual.
Hello. Network Libya. Hello, caller. eléyìí tẹ́ ń wò yìí lọ́wọ́lọ́wọ́ ẹ máa wọ́n dà pé òtún lélẹ̀ tí Koikii show yìí ṣe mọ̀ pé òwú ló fi gbé jáde lára kínní ẹ̀ríran wò kòkòrò tó ń di òwú ẹni yẹn ti lọ kọ́ọ̀lù yẹn ti já ó dà nǹkan tún pè padà já so òwú ló fẹ́ jáde lára tẹ́ ń wò yìí o cotton òwú ẹ máa wọ pé kòkòrò tó ń di òwú bẹ́ẹ̀ ni ẹgbẹ́ òsókè.
ẹ̀rọ ìlú náà ni. So àṣà ṣẹ́gun tẹ̀sí bó ṣe ṣẹ́gun àpè ọkọ̀ yẹn wọn náà wò lówó kọ̀ọ̀kan ká ló wá ṣẹ́gun ó sì àbáṣà ẹ̀bẹ̀ sí ní ṣe investigation abáyé pé 419 ṣẹ́gun ó sì àwọn ẹ̀ ṣàkúrọ̀ fún so later on àtọ́ ti fẹ́ pé diabetes ṣe wọ́n ṣe àárọ̀ test gbọ́dọ̀ mẹ́fà ìpè hospital government hospital náà sọ kọ́bọ̀.
ìyẹn ní Libya ní Benghazi ẹ ṣí ọpẹ ẹsanwó abẹkọfẹ sọ ẹ fi kàjọ wa ni.
rárá owó test láti ṣe test owó pharmacy láti rà ó tán owó bẹ́ẹ̀ni ọsítì náà sọ kọ́bọ̀ lọ́sùn discharge so dàkà padà sí òkú tó dúró tẹ́lẹ̀ psychiatry bàbá yìí tó kó lọ síbẹ̀ wọ́n ní problem ní memory wọ́n pe diabolical discharge or disorder medical terms àmì ṣáà go through gbogbo ní program sickness ó máa jẹ́ kó lose memory ó máa jẹ́ kó wà moody ó máa jẹ́ kó wà hopelessness nígbà tí wọ́n neglect ṣe pé short màá sẹ́ni orúkọ lọ́tọ̀ pé so àṣà wàlẹ̀ ọ̀rẹ́ blood sugar level go high 700 wọ́n ṣàbẹ̀rẹ̀ wálẹ̀ sí 190 abalọ́ra sugar test machine àfihàn regulate oúnjẹ tó máa jẹ òkú tó máa lò eléyìí ó dẹ̀ ó láì kọ́ òkèlè.
ó máa cut down.
òkèlè for now forget vegetable ẹ̀wà oúnjẹ wheat bread with no sugar for now to fi wá calm down. That's why lọ́rùn kan ṣá kò tí wá ṣẹ̀ àtọ́sí hospital ṣe ó gbé machine ẹ̀ dání.
So could it be the same problem? Fídíò girl kan náà tarí láti àdúgbò yín náà ní Libya ń bẹ̀ tó ní ó ní problem kékeré kan tí fídíò yẹn jáde tó ń lọ in circulation mo mọ̀ bí ẹ bá bí. Mo tí mo sọ ni pé it could be just a breakdown náà ni something tẹ́ yóò ti ń ṣèyàn bọ̀ láti lé.
Yes. But remember, many there was a time to call it many people on the sickness.
Bẹ́ẹ̀ni, nígbà tí yàn bá lọ ṣẹ́ mo ti bọ́dì ẹ̀.
Apáta ìsìnkú náà girls wà. Many people wọ̀ ẹgbẹ́ wọn ní sickness lára. Ta ló lówó láti lọ check up Nàìjíríà.
Owó náà dà nínú Nàìjíríà. Owó náà dà.
Many people ẹlòmíì ẹ̀kọ́ pẹ́ kó.
Àwa sọ pé ìyá ilé nǹkan rẹ̀.
Àjẹ ló pa oṣù kan tọkọ. Wàhálà ọ̀gọ́ tó nínú èdè ẹ̀rọ ìṣẹ̀lẹ̀ sí.
Ọ̀dà ẹ ṣe gan ni.
Láti mọ̀ pé ọba ìlú ṣe diabetes. Diabetes máa ń lead to many things. Jọ́kọ̀ máa ṣe gbọ̀ngàn bíi mental ló máa tó bá ti high jù máa ń jẹ́ kó máa ní mental disorder.
Lọ́kọ̀ ṣàmì.
Ó kàn máa sọ̀rọ̀ ó máa wíjọ ó máa gbé ẹ̀kọ́ tó ń sọ wà right.
Gbogbo tó dẹ̀ ń sọ kò bá yé mu. So many of our people are suffering a lot of medical problems back home. Kọ́lọ̀ kó jẹ́ kó tètè gbọ́ pé ìtàn sọ. Àbí àbá tí mo tó ń ṣe èèyàn máa treat ẹ̀ náà. Ìyá mi kò máa kú, ìyá máa nọ́ọ̀sì á máa treat á dẹ̀ máa control oúnjẹ tó fi jẹ dá sọ̀rọ̀. ìyẹn níyàn kí n bá yàn jà nídìí ìwà lọ gbẹ́ lómi lẹ́sẹ̀ tó mọ tó ń ṣe ẹ̀wọ̀n ló fi kú sí yẹn. ẹ má bínú ẹ̀gbọ́n mi ṣe rí pé ẹni sùúrù ẹ̀gbọ́n mi ẹni sùúrù ṣe rí pé òwú ni kinní yẹn padà dì láti kòkòrò ló di òwú èèyàn mélòó ló mọ̀ pé kòkòrò èmi mo ṣe rí rí èmi mọ̀ pé kòkòrò kan wà tó máa ń di òwú kábíyèsí Elédùmarè. àwa wà níbi a ṣe wà backwards ẹ jẹ́ ká máa bẹ́ẹ̀ tó lọ ṣe gan ni chairman thank you so much. ṣe rí pé kòkòrò ni ó padà di òwú ẹ pé tẹ bá ń wò lákọ̀ọ́kọ́ ẹ̀pá irú kòkòrò relé kí ni gbogbo jágbàjà ẹ wo tó padà dì and whereas in the 70s àwa náà ní cotton ẹ wo tó padà dì Ọlámilékan ṣe ń rí pé iṣẹ́ pọ̀ but àwọn olóṣèlú yín ni kò fún anybody l'opportunity a ti sọ̀rọ̀ medical lẹ́ẹ̀kan ẹ̀ tún wo farming section mo tún wá báyìí nísìn so ṣe rí ẹ̀yin tí ẹ wà ń lé kò sẹ́nì kankan tó ń sọ pé ẹ lazy o ẹ wo àwọn ìyá tó ń ṣiṣẹ́ yìí nísìn wọ́n ti máa bẹ̀rẹ̀ iṣẹ́ yẹn láti éèjì tó jẹ́ bíi éèjì tẹ̀yìn náà but nígbà tí èèyàn bá ṣiṣẹ́ títí láti age 20 something títí dé age 40 tí kò dẹ̀ tí ríṣẹ́ definitely ayé máa sú. Ẹ̀gbọ́n mi Ṣẹ́gun ní diabetes could lead to blindness, amputation and possibly kidney issues. Ẹ ṣé gan ni. Mo kí ìyàwó Ọlájírè Kókà. What about the case of a woman who just passed couple of days ago due to the fact that they rejected money transfer but before her husband could come with money she has died because hospital refused. So ẹ jẹ́ ká wá wo ilé ìmútúwárí ilé fúláwà lélẹ́yìí o ọ̀nà kí irú ayé wò làwọn wá bá ìtòrí ẹgbẹ́ Olódùmarè fúláwà èmi kọ́ mọ́ ní àwọn fídíòs yìí so in case tí ẹ bá gbọ́ program David bag tí ẹ bá rí àwọn fídíò yẹn pé Koikii rẹ̀ ń sọ̀rọ̀ nípa fídíò kan ẹ máa lọ sí how 2 billion tulip bulbs are produced èmi náà mọ tó ń jẹ́ tẹ́lẹ̀ ẹ mọ̀ pé àwọn kan máa ra fúláwà ni wọ́n pe kinní kan ní tulip àwọn florist mọ́ṣẹ́ ta lè ṣe tó pọ̀ ẹ wo kiri ta rárá ń wò yìí bó ṣe ń produce ẹ̀ ní Denmark nílùú tó ń produce kìíní Denmark I think so yeah tẹ́bẹ́dẹ̀ lọ gbogbo population Denmark láàárọ̀ ẹ̀ nísìn ẹja close àti sọ̀rọ̀ nípa intensive àti sọ̀rọ̀ nípa àwọn yẹn ẹja kúrò lórí hospital kékeré madùn má bínú wo ọlọ́run bá ń ṣọ́ ẹ pẹ̀lú àti family ẹ̀ àwa náà ní ẹni tí à ń dín pẹ̀lú yóò máa dín pẹ̀lú yẹn lọ́wọ́ mo fi ń jẹ́ kẹ́sì máa wojú àwọn ilé kò sí tó kàn pẹ̀lú politics ọ̀tọ̀ ní nǹkan lọ pẹ̀lú àwọn Ọ̀ṣun state. Tulip ló ń pe flower ìmúkín pastor Emmanuel Tọ́gbà gbogbo àti bá ń rí yín inú wa máa dùn sí yín àti bàbá wa lórúkọ dádì wa Nàìjíríà ń lọ bí galloping àwọn ilé ti sọ̀rọ̀ Nàìjíríà ti pẹ́ bọ̀dá ẹ̀ ní lọ sí ṣọ́ọ̀ṣì wọn because ṣọ́ọ̀ṣì wọn kò dàbí àwọn ṣọ́ọ̀ṣì air condition àwọn ṣọ́ọ̀ṣì ńláńlá ẹ̀kọ́ ṣọ́ọ̀ṣì tí wọ́n gbé páànù ni àwọn èèyàn dẹ̀ láìkì ṣọ́ọ̀ṣì oní páànù mọ́ nísìn ṣọ́ọ̀ṣì tẹ máa jókòó tó máa rí fine girls tẹ máa wíṣù síra yín tẹ máa gba nọ́mbà tó máa defraud ẹ̀ tí wọ́n náà máa defraud ara yín ẹ̀mí Ọlọ́run sí ní ṣọ́ọ̀ṣì mọ́ ẹ̀mí Ọlọ́run sí ní mọ́ṣáláṣí mọ́ olúkálukú ṣe tiẹ̀ so eléyìí tá à ń bá lọ nísìn òun ni ọ̀rọ̀ farming wọ́n pe flower kan ní tulip plant or tulip flower èèyàn mélòó ló mọ̀ kí ló ń pè bẹ́ẹ̀ sórí tulip yẹn òun lélẹ́yìí tulip are genus of spring blooming perennial herbaceous bulbifolious àwọn òyìnbó yìí ti pọ̀ jù fáwa ẹ má máa sọ àwọn òyìnbó ẹ ṣé gan ni pastor Emmanuel Tọ́gbà àwọn òyìnbó ńláńlá ẹ̀ but ní mo fẹ́ fààyàn bẹ́ẹ̀ ni pé ìlú kan wà in táwọn fi ń generate billions of dollars ṣe rí tẹ́ bá ní ká má máa ṣépè fáwọn politicians yẹn because a ní ilẹ̀ ní Lagos káàtì sọ pé Lagos ò ní ilẹ̀ Ọ̀yọ́ state ní ó lè fún wa ní gbogbo tá a fẹ́ nílẹ̀ Yorùbá títí kan other state ẹ̀mọ̀ kan máa ń sọ nígbà kan pé Benue is the food basket of Nigeria but wọ́n mọ̀ọ́mọ̀ destroy Benue state àti ṣe okay àti ṣe 3 hours àgbọ̀dọ̀ di 3 hours lọ 2 hours 19 minutes láti ṣe so we still have about 40 minutes left lẹ́ẹ̀kan sí mo dúpẹ́ lọ́wọ́ gbogbo ẹ̀yin tí ẹ̀ ń gbọ́ wa ní gbogbo ìgbà ẹ̀ tó bá ń béèrè pé ta ni Emmanuel Tọ́gbà ti máa ń sọ yẹn mo kàn fẹ́ òbí mo lè ju àwọn tí sọ̀rọ̀ tipẹ́tipẹ́ nípa ọ̀rọ̀ Nàìjíríà o ìlú Nàìjíríà gẹ́gẹ́ bí ìlú àwọn àti bàbá wa wọ́n ti sọ̀rọ̀ so many times wọ́n ti rí vision oríṣiríṣi sí Nàìjíríà pé ìlú Nàìjíríà ò lè work whatever fáwọn èèyàn ní lọ gbọ́rọ̀ àwọn bàbá yẹn because believe in them àwọn tó máa parọ́ fún yín àwọn lẹ́fẹ́ àwọn ṣọ́ọ̀ṣì tó máa parọ́ lọ́tùn lósì so once again mo kí gbogbo wa from wherever you are watching and I say good afternoon, good evening and welcome to Koikii Media Live. Ẹ jẹ́ ká sọ̀rọ̀ nípa flower. Ikorodu land, Epe land in Lagos could feed Yoruba nation possibly. But because we invest, Cherry, for you to get the result, Oma invest in the people, Oma invest in the community, and you will also invest in the environment. So now, Tati Monton pè ní Tulu àti get understanding ẹ̀ flower ni àwọn flower tó da àwọn flower tó yẹ pé tó bá dé store àbí tó bá dọ́dọ̀ àwọn florist wà ní kọ́ bẹ́ẹ̀ kó papọ̀ o lè order ọ wá deliver sílé bọ̀ báwo lọ ṣe ń ṣe tulip buget òun lélẹ̀ tó ń rí o ṣòro ètò ọ̀tà £32 bẹ́ẹ̀ ni bàbá wa Pastor Emmanuel Ọ̀tọ́gba Yorùbá nation is the only way ọlọ́run adé kó wa yọ láìpẹ́ láì jù ṣòro ètò ọ̀tà ọmọ mix ẹ̀ pẹ̀lú other flowers ni o ṣòro ètò ọ̀tà the cheapest one is £25 so this is something that can give us ṣẹ́rí gbogbo ẹ̀ tẹ́ kàn rí káàkiri tẹ́ níṣẹ́ ní Nàìjíríà ọ̀tọ̀ ni kò lọ sí ṣọ́ọ̀ṣì tó wá ṣe tán ní ṣọ́ọ̀ṣì ó gbọ́dọ̀ lọ ṣiṣẹ́ níbi tó bá ṣiṣẹ́ yẹn wá mú táìtì díẹ̀ wá fún ṣọ́ọ̀ṣì the same thing ní mọ́ṣáláṣí bọ́ kò ṣe pé kó má wà ríṣẹ́ ṣe ẹ wá fẹ́ gbé gbogbo wàhálà ẹ̀ lé àwọn pásítọ̀ Emmanuel Ọ̀tọ́gba àwọn máa ṣàdúrà wàá náà àdúrà gbà àdúrà ò lè gbà nítorí pé society ò provide iṣẹ́ fún ẹ in tó máa mú àdúrà gbà ni pé kí pásítọ̀ Emmanuel Ọ̀tọ́gba àbí àfa Hakeem àbí ìmáàmù Hakeem àbí bàbá wa ṣéwù bàbá wa gbogbo yẹn ṣéwù àti babaláwo tó bá ṣiṣẹ́ fún yàn ó wá jáde sí títì ó ríṣẹ́ now ẹ jẹ́ ká wo eléyìí fídíò yìí kọ́ mo ní so like I say tẹ́ ẹ̀ bàbá pàdé how 2 billion tulip bulbs are produced and harvest tulip cultivation technique in a greenhouse. These are all what our governors should be thinking of. But today, Tinubu fúnra rẹ̀ gan sef ó wà London ó wà ní Paris báyìí. Tí Akérédolú bá sì kìí asan lọ Germany ẹ̀ka wo fídíò yìí. Ẹ wo bó ṣe beautiful. Fáàmù lélẹ́yìí o ẹ wo bí flower yẹn ní oríṣiríṣi kọ́lọ̀ ẹ wo bó ṣe jáde bó ṣe tọ̀yàn mu ìyá ti jẹ wá mo kí ìyá mi Sarah Oyèlọ́wọ̀ ṣe rí àwọn kìnìún ti máa ń ṣe òyìn mo máa ń fi yẹ kí ẹ̀yin tẹ wà nílé kò sẹ́nì kankan tó sọ pé lazy ni yín but society ò Dutch nílẹ̀ do you know that Dutch have been growing tulips since 17th century Dutch tó o bá mọ ìlú tó ń pè ní Dutch jà lọ wá ìlú wo ló ń pè bẹ́ẹ̀ ní Dutch ìlú wo ló ń pè bẹ́ẹ̀ Dutch flower Netherlands is a West Germanic language spoken by about 25 million people as a first language and 5 million as a second language. It is the third most widely spoken Germanic language after its relative Netherlands. Àwọn òlú nìyẹn Dutch country. No. Netherlands is about 17.5 million. Minimum wage is about €1,635 per month as of June 2020. Their official language is Dutch. Capital is Amsterdam. Àwọn èèyàn máa ń fi lọ sí Amsterdam yẹn. Ìyá mi comfort ni I have one bunch here for Mother's Day. Wow, wọ́n ní ẹ̀kan fáwọn fún Mother's Day. Ẹ ṣé gan ni ẹ bá ń kí àwọn ọmọ yẹn. Mo kí ìyá Lálùbáríkà, ìyá wa Fọláṣadé Òjò. Èwo ló ń jábọ́ ní ṣé lára àwọn bíìtì ló jábọ́ ni? Àbójú mi ló gbọ́ sound kan nísìnyí. Oh, okay, bọ́tìnì t-shirt ló yọ. Àpò wo ló ń dún? So Sórí èyí tẹ́ wà nílé ẹ má sọ pé ẹ fẹ́ Nàìjíríà mọ́ is a joke. Saying that you still want Nigeria is a complete joke. Ìlú tó ju 17 million wọ́n tán produce fún gbogbo àgbáyé lọ́dẹ̀ tí produce it. Let's go back into the video.
That the Dutch have been growing tulips since the 17th century. Until now, they are the largest exporter of.
Sórí tó ń lò níbẹ̀ yẹn wind turbine. Wind turbine yẹn ló máa generate electricity fún gbogbo àwọn tó wà lérí àyẹn, not just this farm alone. Bẹ́ẹ̀ ni Yorùbá ilé ti yá o. But problem tá a ní ni pé àwọn Nigerians kan sì ń feel pé àwọn lè tán ní Nàìjíríà. Ṣé rí gbogbo energy tí gbogbo ń lọ lò yẹn, ẹ̀yin Peter Obi, ẹ̀yin Peter Atiku àtẹ̀yin ti APC, ẹ jẹ́ ká lo energy yẹn láti fi béèrè fún Yorùbá nation. Ẹ forget ẹ̀, bàbá Tinubu ò lè ṣe kankan. Mo hate Tinubu, mo ti sọ fún yín láti tẹ̀tẹ́lẹ̀, but media ni mí, tí bá fẹ́ lo picture Tinubu mo nílò ètò dáa, màá lọ gbé ètò ó dàbí tó dí gbẹ̀gbẹ̀gbẹ̀ tó dẹnu sílẹ̀. Ẹ má sọ fún mi pé mo gbọdọ̀ lo picture because Tinubu sick. Báwo mo ti fẹ́ lo picture ẹni tí ó sick kí wọ́n lọ mú ìtí ó ya tó wọ súùtù. Èyí tẹ̀ ń bínú pé picture kan tí mo lò pé tí ó ṣe dẹnúlẹ̀ dọ̀bọ̀dọ̀bọ̀ báyìí. Ó sick, ó wà ní Paris. Wọ́n fún ní treatment bí ṣe bá ń sọ̀rọ̀ báyìí. Ó lè wà nínú oxygen room kan nísìnyí tó yẹ pé wàá kàn máa monitor heartbeat ẹ̀ pé ṣó ṣàṣì wà láyé. So ẹ má yẹ ká parọ́ fúnra wa. So ṣé ìyẹn lẹ fẹ́ yẹ kó wá fix Nàìjíríà tó bá tẹ̀ jẹ́ pé ní 1999 ní Tinubu gba president nígbà tí brain ẹ̀ sì sharp because bí wọ́n bá ṣe ń dàgbà sí especially tó bá ṣe lo body ẹ̀ sí á máa diminish. So Tinubu is not well but bí Ọlọ́run pé kọ́lọ̀ fún lálàáfíà but gbogbo wa la mọ̀ pé bí Tinubu ṣe wà níbẹ̀ yẹn nísìnyí gbogbo tó lè lò pátápátá àfi tó bá dẹ̀ débẹ̀ ṣé ó lè break Nàìjíríà ni kò fẹ́ break Nàìjíríà. So gbogbo ẹ̀dẹ̀ sọ pé ọmọ Yorùbá ni ó máa fún yín regional government ó máa make ẹ̀kan ọ̀rọ̀ economic kọ́ là ń sọ àní kólúkálukú máa lọ 17 million tí bá pọn ní option lẹ́nu ìwọ tó wà ní tó support Tinubu tó dẹ̀ support Peter Obi àti Atiku tó bá fún ẹ ní option pé which of à ń padà bọ̀ lórí fídíò yìí which of the passport ló máa fẹ́ mú dání sọ́wọ́ ṣé passport ti gbogbo Netherlands ẹja lọ wo Netherlands passport index passport index which of the passport ló máa prefer kí ni passport ranking wọn ẹ jẹ́ ká lọ number 4 in the world passport wọn lélẹ̀ so tí bá fún ẹ ní option sórí pé ẹ̀jẹ̀ ní passport yẹn wọ́n ja ogun níṣẹ́ oh my god Ọlọ́run ní jẹ́ káwa rí jà o but pé nígbà sí fúnra wa ká tó kọjá bọ́dà Yorùbá nation irọ́ lápá o torí pé passport wọn bí red ni now wá wo passport Nigeria passport Nigerian passport index number 96 làwa wà passport ti wà lélẹ̀ bọ̀ mo kọ́kọ́ fẹ́ fi ibi tí passport ranking wà sórí number 96 làwa wà lágbàáyé ìlú tó ju 17 million lọ passport wọn rank number 4 lágbàáyé àwọn mo kíyàn tún bá Adékúnlé mo kíyàn gbọ́n ìtẹ̀sẹ̀ ń jí ní Amẹ́ríkà ní California ní Miami ní gbogbo àwọn olùbẹ̀yẹn ẹ̀yin tẹ̀lé wà ní Japan ilẹ̀ ti ṣú lọ́dọ̀ yín lọ ní New Zealand Australia koikimedia Starr Radio la parí àkọ̀wọ́nú ilé ọ̀lálẹ́ la máa ní topic tá a máa sọ̀rọ̀ lé lórí but for now a kàn flow káàkiri ni bẹ́ẹ̀ ni Nigeria is there Nigeria is a scam Tinubu Atiku Peter Obi kọ̀ọ̀kan àwọn mẹ́tẹ̀ẹ̀ta pọ̀ lè tún Nàìjíríà ṣe ṣẹ́rí ẹ̀jẹ̀ tí wọ́n ti ta sílẹ̀ nínú Nàìjíríà ó jẹ́ kólúkálukú lè nìkan sọ pé enough is enough. Now ask yourself which one will you prefer, a Nigerian passport or a Netherlands passport? But these are countries that also fought and today this is what they are doing. Let's go back to this video.
In the world. In 2020, there were approximately 27,000 hectares of
27,000 hectares. Ṣé a lè rí 27,000 hectares ní any Yoruba land or any Yoruba state as of today láti fi gbin flower yìí? Ìbéèrè ni o. Ìyẹn kan tẹ̀ ní Koikii don go far. Namibia passport powerful than Nigerian passport. Mr. Sunday àwọn wọ́n ní Namibia passport ìdájú tí wá lọ. 27,000 of agricultural land in Netherlands are used for growing flower bulbs. 27,000. State wo ni ó fẹ́ fún ló lè fún wa ní 27,000 hectares of land? state wo lẹ fi pé tá a bá sọ pé lẹ́nìí o ètò yẹn ò ní pẹ́ parí we're just about less than 30 minutes before the end of the program, so in case tẹ́yìn tẹ́ bá fẹ́ lọ ṣe yẹn kàn. You have a story. I'm not praying for Tinubu because he brought Buhari the terrorist. Once again, okay, Oyo State can give us 27,000 hectares to build and have these same flower bulbs, and we can send it across the world. If not, at least African country. Ayuba Adebi náà sọ pé Oyo State. So the question is, kí ló dé tí Oyo State government invests in 27,000 hectares of land to grow flower bulb, which is called tulip or tulip. Kí ló dé tí Ọ̀yọ́ ìyàn kan náà sọ pé Ogun State. So we have two states in Yoruba land today, from Ogun State and from also Oyo State, that can give us 27,000 hectares to build it. Gbogbo tó ń wò yìí, in tó ń fáwọn ilé ní billions of dollars nìyẹn every year. Let's go back into it.
Agricultural land in the Netherlands used for growing flower bulbs. More than half of that was dedicated to tulips, which amounts to about 2 billion tulip bulbs. And 90% of those are exported.
90% ni wọ́n máa export. In táwọn nìkan need is 10%. Ìdí tí ebi ṣe ń pa wá ní gbogbo ilẹ̀ Yorùbá land lẹ́nu ni pé àìtí ní enough láti consume fúnra wa débi pa fẹ́ export. Wọ́n ní Ondo State Oshe local government forest reserve. Àwọn ìyá wa sọ pé Ondo State can also do the same thing. So the question then is, why is our governors not making the effort in the agriculture sector so that our people can be able to eat 3 square meal every blessed day? Ìyá Florence, they have to end the Fulani herdsmen first. Òdodo ọ̀rọ̀, because lè lọ sóko níbi tí Fulani ti ń ṣáyàn lórí tó ń báyàn sùn ní tipátipá. And I think I downloaded that video of ìyá wa tí wọ́n attack yẹn. Ẹ jẹ́ kí n sáré mú fídíò yẹn jáde. I think I did. Ìbọn download ni wa. Ní pẹ́ parí ètò ẹ̀ máa wọ̀rí. We are just half an hour to the end of the program. Then later on, àwa ṣe late night. Ẹ jẹ́ ká wo fídíò wa ìyá wa ìyá sunkún fún Nàìjíríà. Ẹ jẹ́ wo fídíò yìí. Ẹ jẹ́ n turn it round. Ẹ jẹ́ n turn it. Kàkà kí àwa ní opportunity but a máa rewind ẹ̀. Ẹ wo ohun tí àwọn Fúlàní ṣe fún àwọn mothers wa. This is Ondo State. Mọ̀ pé mọ́mí wa láti Ondo inú wọn ní dùn tó bá tó rí fídíò yìí gẹ̀ torí ní a máa pé how did we get here?
Ọmọ Màlàbá ọtí pé màmá wọn ọmọ Fúlàní ó ti tó ní wọn ọyẹ ọgbọba ọtí pé màmá wọn.
So why tí mò ń play eléyìí màá kọ́ máa play fídíò tí bí ẹ̀ náà ní background kí wá máa wo màá mute ti yẹn bọ̀kápọ̀ máa wò ó àti tàti láì dí àǹkan ṣe ẹ jẹ́ ká wá máa gbọ́ ìyá wa tó ń sunkún yìí Ọlọ́run já sunkún èyí tẹ́ ń wà lórí mixella à ń show fídíò Tulip bó ṣe ń ṣe ní Netherlands àdẹ̀wà ń play fídíò ìyá wa lórí screen tí wọ́n ń sọ èyí tí Fúlàní ṣe fún wọn ìyá ìgbà Haúsá wọ́n ò sọ pé Ìgbò ló wá àtàkà wọn ní Yorùbá ni bọ̀wọ́ ní àwọn Fúlàní ni.
Ọmọ Màlàbá ọtí pé màmá wọn ọmọ Fúlàní ó ti tó ní wọn ọyẹ ọgbọba ọtí pé màmá wọn ọmọ ẹ ló wá bẹ sí
Okay, eléyìí nǹkan ní the beginning ẹ jẹ́ kí n lọ mú the beginning yẹn wá so ẹ má bínú nǹkan fẹ́ ká gbọ́ láti the beginning gangan so I think we go with this one. Okay, ma turn it around again. Ma lẹ́yìn láti flip ẹ̀ so màá gbé yẹn sórí ilé ìtàbá ẹni sọ̀rọ̀ ìyá wa so ẹ̀dá get audio jáde kọ̀sìn yẹn ló máa fún wa ní ibi tó ti bẹ̀rẹ̀ lọ́wọ́ ni tàbá gbọ́ ẹ̀ táwọn agbọ́ the next one.
Bàbá mi ọ̀kẹ́ta ló yẹ ẹgbẹ́ ọba àríwòkè mo dé láti lo orí àwọn èdè mo wọnú ilé mo tẹ́bẹ̀ mo bọ́ gbogbo aṣọ mi wà pátá mo wà orí tó bá ń tó alábẹ́ tó náà ọkọ̀ wa pé láti ó ní kó ṣílẹ̀ fún òun tó ọmọ dáadé ní adéjúlọ kíkà lónìí. Ó wà lọ́wọ́ mi, mo wá ní kí yẹn lọ sí ilẹ̀kùn. Bí yẹn ṣe sílẹ̀kùn, ọkọ mi wá pọnú kí ṣe oníṣègùn tó ń jẹ ní mi ìdáná. Kò sówó kankan lọ́wọ́ mi tí máa fi ìdáná. Bọ́kọ mi ṣe bẹ̀rẹ̀ sí ní pariwo.
Ìyá náà ò dáná, ó ní kò sówó kankan tóun fẹ́ fi dáná. Kábíyèsí Elédùmarè. Ẹ má rò pé àwọn pípì wọ́n máa ń ṣe stream ni tó bá ń sọ pé kò sówó lọ́wọ́ àwọn. Wọ́n ń ṣiṣẹ́ ìmí ìṣiṣẹ́ nu wọn ò sanwó fún wọn. Wọ́n ń ṣiṣẹ́ pẹ̀lú gọ́ọ̀mẹ̀ntì, gọ́vnà olè. Gọ́vnà máa sanwó olè ti jẹ́ wọ́n lówó oṣù mẹ́ta, á sanwó ẹyọ kan fún ọnú ẹ̀. Ìwọ máa wo flower tó ń build lẹ́yìn background ẹ̀ sórí bó ṣe bí yẹn ṣe ń dán yánmúyán. Flower ni wọ́n ń build yẹn, kò ń ṣe miracle lélẹ̀.
Smaller tulips must be done by hand.
Sórí wo bó ṣe ń ṣe sórí pé machine kan péré wo bí bàbá ẹ̀ ṣe ń operate ẹ̀. Ìjọ ọ̀la wa fẹ́ dé stage torí Elédùmarè. Ṣé ní Nàìjíríà ìṣá ẹja padà ká gbọ́ fídíò ìyàwó yẹn. Ìyàwó yẹn náà wọn ò dáná o, ẹ ò dáná, ẹ lówó lọ́wọ́, ẹ dáná. Sòwò kankan lọ́wọ́ mi. Ọkọ tó ń pariwo ṣe fún ìyá lówó láti fi dáná. Mad country.
Bí mo kàn ṣe mú sẹ́ẹ̀tì yẹn, mo kàn rí àwọn pípù yẹn, àwọn méje ń wọlé. Ó dàbí ẹni pé àwọn mẹ́rin gbé ìbọn dání, àwọn mẹ́ta ò ní wọn ní àdá. Wọ́n wá sọ pé wọ́n bẹ̀rẹ̀ sí Hausa sọ̀rọ̀. Wọ́n ní Súbàhà Fúlàní bá. Wọ́n ní Sú kìnnápà ni. Wọ́n láwọn kì í ṣe Fúlàní pé kìnnápà làwọn. Wọ́n ní kí n gbé owó wá. Mo wá fi Hausa dáhùn pé báńdé kùdí. Wọ́n ní àpò ìkùdí, wọ́n á ní báńdé kùdí. Wọ́n kí n gbó wá, wọ́n ní mi ìlú tó. Bí kan ṣe gbá ìbọn mi mọ́ mi láyà. Ìkan tẹ̀lé ọkọ mi, pé ọkọ mi ó lọ. Làbá owó ọmọ làbá ọtí pé màmá ń wo ọ̀ràn Fúlàní ó ti tó lé wọn ọ̀yẹ́ ọkọ̀ bá ọtí pé màmá ọmọ yẹn ló wà bẹ̀ sí ní pariwo. Tó bọ́n ṣe gbé mi dé, wọ́n gbé mi lọ sẹ́ńtà ọ̀dọ̀ wa ibi tí mo ti ṣiṣẹ́ wọ́n ní àwọn ọ̀tọ̀ oníkálukú ti sá. Gbogbo àwọn tó lọ́mọ ládùúgbò oníkálukú ti kọ́ ọmọ wọn ti mo rí gbogbo wọn bọ́n ṣe rọ̀ṣù mi lọ. Sọ àwa lọ sí sẹ́ńtà àdàgbà. Àbẹ́ni kọ̀ọ̀kan bẹ̀ ni bọ̀bọ́ ọkọ̀ màlátò àti ọmọ mi kan wá gbé mi sínú ambulance. Wọ́n á rẹ̀ sí ní hàn ní wọ́n ti gbé mi wá sílẹ̀.
Ṣé ti gbọ́ nípa ìròyìn kankan pa ọmọ tí wọ́n gbé?
Wọ́n ti pè, wọ́n ní ọmọ náà ti pè.
Nọ́mbà wo ló fi pè?
Nọ́mbà yẹn wà lọ́wọ́ Ajayi Muskala. Ẹ̀bẹ́ ni wọ́n máa Ajayi ọmọ Aṣánáyé. Nọ́mbà yẹn wà lọ́wọ́ ẹ̀. So wọ́n ní kọ́ ọmọ mi, wọ́n ti gba gbogbo sẹ́ẹ̀tì wa lọ. Ọmọ mi tí wọ́n gbé lọ yẹn, wọ́n ní ṣé ó mọ nọ́mbà tó lè pè. Ìyẹn wá pé nọ́mbà ọ̀rẹ́ ẹ̀yìn àdúgbò kò lọ́wọ́. So ìyẹn wọ́n ní ìyẹn fẹ́ gbé sẹ́ẹ̀tì. Bẹ̀tì bọ́ tó dé bí nsì ó lóun wà lẹ́gbẹ̀ẹ́ olóhùn àti kó gbé kọ́ọ̀lù ó ní ọmọ mi yẹn ló wá bá òun sọ̀rọ̀.
Wọ́n ti gbé ìyá ọmọ lọ, wọ́n ní kó lọ mú 10 million. Ṣé ẹni tó dáná fọ́kọ lọ ní kó lọ mú 10 million? Níbo ló ti fi rí 10 million? A ní gómìnà l'Ondo State, bàbá wa Akérédolú. Ṣé ẹni tí ìyá tó rówó dáná sínú ilé fọ́kọ tọkọ náà fowó sílẹ̀ tọ́wá ní kí Fúlàní wá ní kó lọ mú 10 million wá? Tó bá rí 10 million nísìnyí kí lè rẹ̀kọ́ máa ṣe fọ́mọ náà? Wọ́n bá sùn, wọ́n dẹ̀ pa, wọ́n tún máa wé lòmíì. Irú láìfẹ́ la fi máa gbé. Whereas ní Netherlands ẹ̀wọ̀n táwọn ń ṣe, àwọn ń sọ túlùpù, wọ́n ń sọ dowó. Ẹ̀wọ̀n bọ́ ṣe ń produce ẹ̀. Ẹja gbọ́ fídíò yẹn díẹ̀, à ń padà bọ̀ lọ́dọ̀ ìyá wa ẹ̀. Ṣẹ̀rẹ̀ àwọn youths, ṣẹ̀rẹ̀ àwọn tó ń ṣiṣẹ́ níbẹ̀. Ṣẹ̀rẹ̀ àwọn tó ń ṣiṣẹ́. Àwa ṣì wà níbi rakatia. Wọ́n ní Akérédolú has not paid some workers in Ondo State for almost 8 months. Ẹ wo táwọn eléyìí ń ṣe, àwa ṣì wà níbi rakatia. Ẹ wòran. Ẹ wo táwọn eléyìí ń ṣe.
The bulbs are first grown in cold conditions before being transferred to greenhouses for cultivation.
Ẹgbọ́n kan tó sọ.
They are stored in a cooling room for a certain period, usually between 11 to 17 weeks at 11 degrees Celsius. But why do they go through this process? Well, it's actually a trick to make the bulbs think it's winter. This activates the sprout and new roots, making them think they need to start growing again once spring arrives.
Ìyàwó ní owó ọ̀ṣẹ́ local government area ìyẹn ní Ondo State. Ẹ já padà sọ́dọ̀ ìyàwó yìí. Ìyàwó yìí ní wọ́n ti contact wọ́n dẹ̀ ti ní kọ́lọ́mú 10 million naira wa kọ́lọ́mù ọbẹ̀ Elédùmarè kókó wayọ nínú Nàìjíríà.
Olówó adé gbogbo ló wà olóòsọ pé inú tó mọ gbòòrò ibẹ̀ bẹ̀rẹ̀ ìjì so ó ní bọ́ ìwà fún ọmọ ìwà sọ pé owó ni wọ́n làwọn nídìí o so ọmọ mi wà fún àwọn kékeré ní sẹ́yìn wọ́n á bọ́ ọmọ yẹn sọ wọ́n á ní kọ́lọ́kó tẹ́lẹ̀.
Ṣọ́kùnrin lọmọ tó ń gbé lọ.
Ọmọ yẹn so bàtí.
10 million naira níbo ni àwọn ìyá yìí ẹ rántí fídíò arákùnrin ẹ jẹ́ ká gbọ́ kò tí ì kúrò ńlẹ̀ gbogbo tó sọ ó sì fi ṣẹlẹ̀ ó dẹ̀ ń ṣẹlẹ̀ bọ̀ díẹ̀díẹ̀.
Which is it for yourself, Kabadaya? Do you think the government is unwilling or unable to protect the people of Southern Kaduna?
In fact, it is not only unable, it is unwilling, and we have good reason to feel that they are part and parcel of the killers. Let me make some revelations.
That's a very big allegation, Dr. Obadiah. The government is part and parcel of the killers. That's big.
Yes. Okay. How would the government just say, oh, it is revenge killing and so on? Then you leave it there. Oh, because it is revenge killing and so on and so on. The body language of this administration, the body language of the state government shows clearly that they have a hand in the killings. No doubt about it. Because you see, General Abacha, and people don't give him his due. Do you think you would have tolerated such nonsense? And let me make some revelations, because some of us also have our own intelligence networks.
Okay.
Have met with some of the bandits. We have met with some of their high commanders. One or two who have repented. They have sat down with us, not once, not twice. They told us that one of the northern governors is the commander of Boko Haram in Nigeria.
So who is that governor? Why was terrorism slowed down just as election was coming? Terrorism elole drop. Okay, DG75 said that is my mother's cousin from Imuru, Oshe local government area. So àwọn tó mọ family dáadáa ni wọ́n sọ̀rọ̀ yẹn. Not sure. What a sad situation we found ourselves. Who is this governor? Ẹ̀jàgbọ́n tí bàbá wa ṣe ọ níbí báyìí.
What do they expect of us now? Now that this armed forces are not neutral. They collude.
They collude with the armed bandits. They kill people, kill Nigerians. They facilitate their movements. They cover them. If you are depending on the armed forces to stop the killings, you will all die one by one.
So what do they expect of us now that this war is on our doorstep? Of course, there has got to be civil.
About showing Kapada. Let's listen back to him again.
So what do they expect of us now that this war is on our doorstep? Of course, there has got to be civil mobilization. And if we keep waiting for this to be centrally handled, we're all going to become, if we're not already, slaves in our own land. That for me is personally intolerable. It's not an acceptable condition. And whatever it takes, I stand ready to contribute in any way.
Impediment to Yoruba development is the impediment to Odua development. Without Nigeria, we won't be where we are. 1962, we were far ahead of South Korea and North Korea. We were far ahead of China even. We had television before France. We had radio before South Africa. Now look at where we are today. I think it's a shame that even any Yoruba man can be talking about restructuring at this point in time. What are we restructuring? This country that is already shot to pieces? I don't think that's what we want. But they are always talking about giving Nigeria a chance. The patience of Yoruba with Nigeria has come to an end.
Kọ́lọ́run ọba Elédùmarè kó bá wa dúró ti àwọn mọ̀lẹ́bí. We hope Àmọ̀tẹ́kùn security will be out to rescue the young innocent Yoruba girl. Ọmọ Yorùbá ni, ilẹ̀ Yorùbá lélẹ̀ ti ṣẹlẹ̀ nílùú Ondo State. Ṣẹ̀rá àwọn criminal tó ń wọlé yẹn, oríṣiríṣi ọ̀nà ló ń gbà wọlé. Àwọn kan ti wà láàárín wa, àwọn kan wọlé. But the more tí àwọn governors wọ̀ bá tètè put security as a very, very important part of safeguarding our people. In another few days, ṣẹ́rí weekend àtúntò tó máa ṣẹlẹ̀. Election ti tán. Now they are coming back out again. Nígbà election, hardly la gbọ́ pé ibì kan wà o, wọ́n kidnap o, or this o, or that. But now that the election is done, they are back out again. Àwọn ò ní dákẹ́ láti máa sọ̀rọ̀. Appeal court has declared Ademola Adeleke as the winner of Osun State. Okay, just make sure you protect our people in Osun State until Nigeria will eventually collapse. As I say all the time, ẹ má ẹ̀ka dabble into their politics. We have nothing to do with their politics. Let us remain focused in our own. Mọ̀lẹ́bí, àwọn nìkan kọ́ ló ń go through similar situation. Our local government, they are not up to the standard. Ṣẹ̀rí lẹ́yìn tó bá ti yọ capital city state kúrò, gbogbo àwọn local government tó kù, kò sọ́lọ́pàá, kò sí sójà, kò sí security. Àwọn ọlọ́dẹ ìwọ̀nba tó bá lè ṣe àbọ̀rọ̀mọ̀yé nísìn. So tẹ bá ti yọ Àkúrẹ́ kúrò níbi tí gọ́vnà wà, gbogbo local government tó kù nínú Ondo State. Ondo State has 18 local government, yeah. So tá bá ti yọ Àkúrẹ́ kúrò, all other places within Àkúrẹ́ yẹn nìkan ni security díẹ̀ lè wà. Bí ẹ máa rí ọlọ́pàá, ẹ rí sójà, ẹ rí mini defence. Lẹ́yìn yẹn, yeah, 18 ni mo ti kọ́ gbogbo local. Ọ̀yọ́ State ní 33, Ògùn State ní 20, Ọ̀ṣun òun náà tóbi dáadáa 30, Kwara 16, Èkìtì. Báwo ni Kwara ṣe jẹ́ 16 gan sef? Ṣé Kwara ò tóbi dáadáa ni? Èkìtì State 16, Kogi gan pọ̀ ju Kwara lọ 21, Lagos 20. Bí tá máa rí ètò ti àárọ̀ èdè ni mo kí ẹ̀yin listeners wa. There's still a lot that is going to happen in that country. Time will tell, and we're going to be here talking about it. For 8 years, and on the 27th of June 2020, appointed. Oh yeah. He knows what he's doing. He brought in a Yoruba man to come and deal with whatever is going to happen after the election, so that Tababa blame anything he's saying. And if intelligence says the man is not in Nigeria, the Chief Justice of Nigeria, he's currently in London. But intelligence is saying that they're trying to get him out of London back to Nigeria as quickly as possible. Kogi State Governor Yaya Bello is one that caused all this for Ondo State. He's one that abhor Fulani. Wow. But ṣebí last year, Kolari video kan táwọn sójà pọ̀ ní ọ̀nà Kogi. Why are they not protecting the boundaries? The job of the soldiers is not to sit in the barracks, protect the boundary. But since the military has been compromised, remember that this man told us that, so we are just under 12 minutes before we end, so we can still squeeze this one in. Remember this one? Is that agenda still there? The agenda that they are planning to combat, bring Nigeria or turn Nigeria to an Islamic country. Some might say it's not going to happen, but eventually you now have a president, Muslim, a vice president, Muslim. They are trying to get a Senate president as a Muslim. Ojikalu is already fighting. Say, no, that is not going to happen. I have to be the Senate president. I will see how that is going to play out.
It's not about sentiments. It's that there are a group of people in this country that feels that this country should be Islamized. This is a fact. Except you want me to start mentioning names of people in this government that we have interrogated. I was a member of an interrogation team, and I've interrogated a very high-ranking member of this government in 2007, 2008 on the issue of Boko Haram. I interrogated him. He's in this government right now. And what was the issue? Boko Haram. And this senior officer was actually let go because he was found culpable. But right now he's in the government. You see, we must say the truth, because if you don't, this country is going down the precipice. We have been set back more than 60 years right now. We've gone back to the time before 1966 now. And whoever is coming back to repair this country has a lot of work to do. This country has never been polarized, so we cannot run away from it. We have never been this much polarized. I'm a federal person. My mind is federal. My brain is federal. My loyalty is federal. I do things for the federal government. So I cannot come here and try to be sentimental. No, I'm a federal person.
So will your life be at risk now that they're hearing you?
I don't care. I don't care. And my colleagues, they know me. Those people that listen to me, they know me. I don't care. The issue is that this country is bigger than individual. That is the issue. This country is bigger than individuals. Buhari will come and go. Eliminating me or killing me will not solve the problem and will not add value. But he will come and go. And somebody must come and repair the damage to the psyche of this society, the damage to the polarization, to the nepotism that I've never seen in my life. I work with all these presidents. This is the worst situation I've found myself. And believe me, internet does not forget. I was part of the people that helped to bring Buhari to government because I believe in him.
Have you worked with the government after that?
After
you helped bring the government?
Oh, of course, I worked with him. We brought him in 2015, and I work as the Deputy Director of Defense Administration. And we have a lot of hope in him. And we actually are ready to do anything for him. What he has turned out over the years is shocking to us. I was in Harvard in 2014, in December, when the Department of State Services and CIA and others were contemplating about Buhari and other aspirants. I know what we did to convince the American government that the only person that can come and put this country right is Buhari. That was before the Lagos, APC, before they chose within.
Right.
And that was how Tinubu came in. We know what we did, but what he has done in the past 6 years is shocking. It's unprecedented.
They wanted to be separate from the country that the British Empire had imposed on us, which was this country of Nigeria, where they kind of took a bunch of independent nations who don't have anything to do with each other, don't even speak each other's language, don't relate. Many of them were even enemies and warring at the time, smushed them all together and drew these arbitrary lines around them and called them countries and named those countries.
Right.
And then said, now y'all get along and do a country for us and be a union for us. And then go through, contentious, bloody independence processes that never really yield any real independence. You're still part of a commonwealth afterwards.
True.
And you have the eternal meddling in your affairs and the eternal extraction of your resources and the eternal fomenting of divisiveness and infighting in order to be able to control you. This is what an oppressor does, a colonizer does. These are, tactics and strategies of dominance.
Right.
We were subjected to that as a larger unit of Nigeria. And then when the Igbo people said, we want our own thing, let's go and do that. Well, it so happened to be that the territory that this new country of Biafra was going to be in included very, very rich oil reserves. And the British were not going to let go of that.
Wow.
And the people that they had put in power, their puppet Nigerian governments weren't going to do that either because they needed it for the Nigerian project.
Right.
And Britain needed it for its own interests and uses. So Great Britain got directly involved in this civil war and in the war for independence and decided that they would do everything to make sure that Biafra did not go.
Wow.
And this everything meant directly funding genocide of the people of Biafra.
Well, as we are winding down in just 5 minutes, I'm just getting routers. Biafra separatist leader brother lost London court challenge against the UK government. I think Nnamdi Kanu's brother went to court here in UK. Let's see if I can bring that in just before. This is actually coming from Reuters. So Reuters, this was about 19 hours ago, but somebody just sent it to me right now. So Reuters is like a news network that talk about Nnamdi Kanu. Let's see if I can bring that in just before we wind down. Yeah, and I think I have the headline here. Thank you so much. If that person is watching, that actually sent that to me. So let me just quickly show that briefly. As you can see there, Britain will do everything to protect their own interest, whether you believe that or not. But that is the headline there. Biafran separatist leaders brother loses London court challenge against the UK government. We know that the UK government has always said that they are doing their best to get Nnamdi Kanu released from detention. Whether that is something they're working on or not. Thank you so much, Mr. Bamidele. So let's read that quickly because of our time. London on the 23rd of March, which was yesterday, the jail Biafran separatist leader Nnamdi Kanu's family lost a legal challenge against the British government in a London court on Thursday over his continued detention in Nigeria. Kanu's brother Kingsley Kanu brought a judicial review against Britain's Foreign Office over his alleged refusal to acknowledge that Nnamdi Kanu, who holds Nigerian and British citizenship, was a victim of extraordinary rendition from Kenya to Nigeria in June 2021. Kingsley Kanu's lawyer argued that the Foreign Office should reach a conclusive view on whether his brother was the victim of extraordinary rendition in order to properly assess what step to take to assist Kanu. Judge Jonathan swiftly dismissed the case in a written ruling on Thursday, in which he said the Foreign Office decision not to express a firm view about Kanu's treatment, either privately or publicly, was a matter for the government. However, Swift added that the British government approach will now be informed by a ruling given by the Nigerian Court of Appeal on October 13, which found that Kanu had been unlawfully adopted and rendered to Nigeria. Nigerian Court of Appeal also dropped 7 terrorism charges against Kanu, who remains in detention pending an appeal against that decision by the Nigerian government. Kingsley Kanu said in a statement that the result was very disappointing. He added he will be seeking permission to appeal against the ruling, which he says sets a dangerous limitation on the obligation the British authorities have to any British national who has been detained by a rogue state abroad. A spokesperson for the Britain Foreign Office said, "We continue to offer consular support to Mr. Kanu and remain in regular contact with his family and legal representatives and the Nigerian authority." Well, that is what you can hear from the video we played, and you now ask yourself, Moki Mr. Fab, it's entirely up to us to understand that politics is already being played on the case of Nnamdi Kanu. Our comforts, I only pity our people that are still daydreaming for one Nigeria. Nigeria is gone dead. Chooks also went on to say, Tanko Mohammed was removed last June in preparation for Tinubu's presidency, but the Nigerian citizen doesn't even know who the party candidates are. Nnamdi Kanu's wife and children needs to stage a protest in front of the Parliament Square in UK, according to Mr. Fab. And on that note, we play Giacomo. When I come back, we'll go straight to our anthem, and then I will call it a day. It's exactly 2:07 p.m. here in UK. Friday, Good Friday, as we always say, to every one of us. And likewise, like I always say, Yoruba Nation is our own. And your long that. Thank you so much. My Oga Koikii, I really love it whatever I hear the revelation of Dr. Obadia. Well, people think that is gone. Obadia message is still transmitting in what is known as Nigeria. Okay, whether on Instagram and wherever you're listening, on the Twitter, it seems that the connection is quite stable today. It's been green all the way through. I hope it will be green by the time I come back during my late night conversation. And on that note, have a very good afternoon. Bridget Agboma, and all the silent listeners that never comment, but we know you're there. Dabo.
Àfáàwé náà wá sí òkè lórí wọn lọ lọ́wọ́ aláwọ̀ lórí ọmọ ìdá náà. Kọ́lá tí Nàìjíríà máa ń bá bọ́ ìjọba yìí, èmi wà náà tí ó máa sọ. Ẹyẹ gémi eré pa, ẹgbẹ́ yìí ní gbogbo nǹkan, kò sẹ́ni kéde kò sí pa. Gbẹ̀yìn kọsẹ̀, kò lè rí òkú lọ́sítà. Ìṣúná kò sómi. Wọ́n bó ìrọ̀lẹ́ lọ, ọdún mẹ́fà wọn ò ní ṣe eruku pàrọ̀ àdúgbò tán. Ọmọ Oòduà. Ọ̀gá Fúlàní.
ọ̀gá àbúrò kí ló jẹ́ o. Yorùbá nation yìí ti gbogbo wa ni. Kó má gbọ́dọ̀ bàjẹ́. Torí kò sílùú mìíràn.
Life is so funny. You come with nothing, then fight for everything, and later leave everything and go back with empty hand. God is powerful.
Have a very good afternoon. Bye for now. Comfort. To our silent listeners, we know you're there. We appreciate you. We love your time, even though you never comment. But we know that you're there. Sai Jimo, bye for now. Whatever.